Now, let me give you 3 steps to personal development. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. What does it take to really make the changes starting tomorrow? Discipline. Major step to human progress. Discipline. Get excited over your ability to make yourself do the necessary things. What could you make yourself do starting tomorrow that would change it all? On any given day, you can massively change the direction of your life. Now, here's the key to discipline. Start with the little disciplines, get excited over the little disciplines, and get right on those, because those will lead to the big ones. You can't handle the big challenges in life unless you take on the little ones. Make a list of all the things you can do, get right on those, discipline yourself for those, both for the results and for the muscle and for the practice, so that when life hands you some big challenges, you'll be ready, you'll have the muscle. But see, if you don't handle the small ones, you can't take care of the big ones. Here's what else it takes for life change. Self-motivation. Key phrase, self-motivation. I don't know why we call it self-motivation. It's really the only kind there is. You got to motivate yourself. Because I found out you can't change people. They can change themselves, but you can't change them. Lord knows some I've tried. People have to change themselves. So it takes self-motivation to really alter your life. And you don't want to give self-motivation away to somebody else and make it somebody else motivating you. If you wish to be successful, study success. If you wish to be happy, study happiness. If you wish to be wealthy, study wealth. Don't leave it to chance. Make it a study. Some people just go through the day with their fingers crossed. See, that won't do it. You've got to study the things that can change your economic, social, spiritual, personal life. You may not be able to do all you find out, but you should find out all you can do. See, you don't want to wind up at the end of your life and discover that you've lived only 1/10 of it. And the other 9/10 went down the drain. Not for lack of opportunity, for lack of information.
It's your turn. You shouldn't feel guilty. It's your turn. It's your time. You've blessed everybody else. You've set everybody else for success. You've compromised you for them, and look where you are. It's time for you. It's not an option. And the reason why some of you are not where you're supposed to be, you've given yourself an option. You've given yourself an out. You've given yourself an excuse. You've given yourself room not to do it. But you have what it takes. Give me some energy. I can. I will. I must. Come on, I can. Come on, I will. I must. I can. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go.
I want to welcome you to the Plug and Play Business Masterclass. Welcome, everyone. I first want to congratulate you all, okay? Because there's a lot of places that you could be tonight. There's a lot of things you could be doing, but you took this time out to explore what could be, what might be, what is going on with what Tiffany knows. Can I go get some knowledge, right? If we could get to where we wanted to go, knowing what we know, we would already be there. Right. So the fact that you're taking time out to spend it with me to explore what this actually is, I'm excited to have you. I take it as an honor. So my name is Tiffany Haynes. Today, I'm going to be teaching you how to start a 6-figure work from home business in a little known niche market in real estate. Okay. Here's my promise to you. I'm going to teach you how to start, scale, and sustain. Okay. This business. Start, scale, and sustain. How many of you don't want to just start, scale, and then watch it all fall away? How many of you don't want to start strong and can't seem to go higher? So I'm going to teach you how to start, scale, and sustain this business that I've had for almost a decade. Okay, so introduce yourself in the chat. I cannot wait to get to know you. Please let me know where you are from and what you do. All right, please let me know. This is going to help me as I craft out what you need to know in this presentation. It kind of helps me with your background before meeting you on this Monday night. But please introduce yourself in the chat. Let me know where you are from and what you do. My name again is Tiffany. I am a mother. I'm a believer. I have 3 children. Okay, you ready for this? One is 18, one is 8, and one is 1. Okay, 18, 8, and 1. I have a whole gamut of things going on. We're preparing for college. We're also still changing diapers. Okay, don't ask me how I got myself in this, but I have 3 wonderful children, an amazing husband, and I am a full-time entrepreneur. I do not work a 9 to 5 and then also have something on the side. I'm a full-time entrepreneur, and I have been for close to a decade. And so I also want to learn more about who you are. So welcome, Andrew. And I think it's Cedre. Okay, I don't want to mess that up. I love that, though. So Cedre is here. She's from Nashville. She's a project coordinator. Andrew's in the house. He's from Miami, and he's retired. Welcome, you guys. But please drop it in the chat where you are, where you're from. Welcome, April from Philadelphia, Melissa from Connecticut, Asana. I was just telling Robert, are you here? I was just telling my friend Robert we need a sonographer. So welcome, Melissa. Nakia from Ohio, and Kay is here. It seems like he goes by Kai from Maryland, and he's a bank teller. Candace from Las Vegas, a CFO. You guys are Cedra. Okay, I love it. Cedra, thank you, honey. So welcome. I also want to know one quick little fun fact about you guys. All right, I'm gonna drop a poll in the chat. Okay, I'm gonna drop a poll in the chat. Talk back to me if you don't mind. What I want to know is if you have a 9 to 5 and you want to get into entrepreneurship, or you have a 9 to 5 with a side hustle. So you're working a 9 to 5, but you kind of got something on the side. It's not full-time ready, but it's still doing something. Or you're a full-time entrepreneur and you're just interested in what this could be. Maybe this is just a new venture that's piqued your interest. Drop your results there in the chat for me. It's going to help me get to know you a little bit better. And please know I have been all 3 of these. All right. So all 3 of these I have explored. So I'm just trying to see what part of the journey you happen to be on today. So thank you. I got all the results in. It looks like I have a 9 to 5. I want to get into entrepreneurship. It's taking the lead. All right. So it seems like that is the dominant audience on what we have today. So, so it's key, like the key. Okay, very good. I appreciate y'all helping me say your names correctly, because I might say them all night. Okay, so I have Cedra and Key. Okay, I'm gonna try to remember that. Cedra, you might have to correct me a little bit later. So also let me know this. So thank you for doing the poll. I'll take that down. Also let me know this, guys. Tell me if any of this is you right now. Okay, so just put the number in the chat if any of this relates to you. So if number 1 is between work and home life, there is not much time in the day and you are frustrated financially. If that's you, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 2 if you are dreaming of traveling. You are dreaming of more traveling that you can actually go on. You have reached a point where you want to visit your screensavers and not just admire them while you're working. Come on, somebody. Come on, everything. All the beautiful places are on your screensaver, but you're not actually able to get out and explore them. Put a number 3 in the chat. You have enough to get by, but not enough for emergencies, and have no true strategy for life after retirement. Some of us are not confused at all. We all know that 401k is not gonna work, right? So put a 3 in the chat if that's you. Number 4, you are finally ready to enter into entrepreneurship, but not 100% sure what to get into. You're just not sure what to get into. Or 5, you don't enjoy what you're currently doing and you are ready to explore something that fits your personality. So you say, Tiff, I have something going, it's doing what I needed to do, but it definitely doesn't fit my personality. Maybe this could fit my personality a little bit better. So thank you for dropping your numbers in the chat. I just want to make sure I can see where you are on the journey. So if any of these apply to you, any of these, okay, Key's got 1, 2, 4, and 5. Okay, Key ain't playing no game. There's a lot going on. So I understand that. So how does this solution sound to you? Okay, how does it sound to you? To live a life and own a company where you can work anywhere in the world and have full control over your workload and income. Full control, okay? Or you wake up fulfilled and passionate about your work and have the income to equal the passion. How many of you are pouring into your job, your career, your entrepreneurship journey, and you're not seeing that passion equated to what's in your bank account? The math ain't mathing, all right? How many of you, Tiff, I'm giving my all, but it's not giving this all back to me, okay? And so one of the solutions is whatever you pour into something, it can pour that back into you, is what I want to talk about today. So today, I will show you how to get more freedom, flexibility, structure, control, and create the freedom life that you want. Create the freedom life that you want. So tell me in the chat, would a laptop life help you get the freedom life you're looking for? Would that help you? Say, Tip, I can just move about the country how I please and still make some money. That would be a beautiful solution to what I'm going through now. So this is what we're going to do. Let's make a mutual agreement. Here's our mutual agreement. How many of you have been to trainings, right? They tell you that they're going to teach you all their secrets. You come to the training, they teach you half a secret. Okay, half a secret is what you get. And then they skip to the part where now they're pitching to buy something from them. How many of you been there? Okay, say I in the chat. I've been there, right? So what I want to do today is I'm going to teach you how I start, scale, and sustain this business. I've done it for 10 years. I've done it through every economic downturn and turn up, okay? I've done it with very limited resources outside of the income that was made. You'll find out why in just a few seconds. And I'm going to teach you every single tactic that I used, every single one, everything I did to start it. And then how did I scale it? And then how did I sustain it against all of the competition that may have came? All of those things I promise to you. So great. So in 2014, guys, I started a company that has generated multiple 6 figures a year without me having to work around the clock or in a physical building. In 2014, I started a company that was able to accomplish this for me. All right. But before me to really get into this, I really want to take you back. Okay. I want to take you back to 2013. I want to take you back to prior to this success that I was able to find in my life, because I think it's going to help you along your journey and it's going to help connect the dots for you. So life before 2014, I was 29 years old. I was a mom. I had a son at the time. I was a newlywed and I worked in corporate America. Where my corporate America people at? I worked in corporate America. I had a journey where I worked a little bit as I worked as a real estate assistant, and now I was at a corporate job. And one of the ways that I always was able to get through any type of financial hardships is I was always able to work overtime. Okay. Overtime was my financial plan. Really. I'm telling you, if anything got tight, forget a savings, forget all that. I worked some overtime and we got it through. How many people had overtime as their financial plan at any season in their life, right? That was just how you got out of everything. And so at that point, that was what I was doing. And what happened was I was driving an hour to work, staying late, driving an hour home, sometimes getting home 8, 9 o'clock at night, because that's how we kind of got through any time that was tight. My husband was in school. He was getting ready to start a new career. So it was heavy on your girl to figure things out. And I was spending all my days there. And what happened is I got promoted. And while it seemed like a good thing at the time, I was made salary and there was no more overtime available. Okay. I was made salary. And if you can imagine working as hard as I was working, still having to stay late, because that's the thing, you become salary. That doesn't mean you can still leave when everybody else leaves. Still working late, getting the same pay. I was saving the company millions of dollars. The job that I had is I worked for a corporate bank. We would go into departments that were losing money, and we would stop the bleeding. We'd figure out a solution. We test that solution, and then we go to the next problem. So my role was to lead that team, saving the company millions of dollars. I think at the time I was making about $3,200 a month. Okay. Saving the company millions, making $3,200 a month, and capped. I can't work any overtime. So my financial plan imploded because that was my financial plan. And bills stacked up, things start to get behind. You're robbing Peter to pay Paul. And it's like you're juggling. I don't know if you've been there. I'm juggling, and I'm able to figure it out week after week, month after month. And then some point a ball drops, and then another ball drops. And then it seems like they're just throwing so many balls at you, and then all of them drop. And it just seemed like I was not able to figure it out. And I remember sitting at my home, looking at bills that I could not pay. And I said, I should be better at this by now. How am I not better at this by now? I am 29 years old. I am 29 years old. Being an adult, at the end of the day, I'm saying to myself, Tiff, it's just math. It's like third grade math. It's not division. I mean, you don't need to find out the square root of anything. All you need to do is figure out how to not spend more than you're making. And I was so frustrated with myself. And it wasn't long that this new home that we had it for a few years. If I didn't do something, we were going to get foreclosed on. And the only solution that was recommended to me that we knew to take at the time that could figure it out was we were going to have to file bankruptcy. And September of 2013, that's what we did. We filed bankruptcy to save our home. This is my actual paperwork. Y'all. September 2013, we filed Chapter 13. We had a Chapter 13 plan. Look at this, y'all. $200 for the first 2 months just to get your head above water. That's how tight things were. It's like that's the only thing they could charge us just for us to actually make it through the first 2 months. It was devastating. It was probably one of the hardest times in my marriage. My marriage was stretched thin. I was so stressed, still having to go to work. How many of you had to still work just as hard for it all not to be enough? I'm still working just as hard, y'all, and it's not enough. It's not enough. I mean, tears streaming down my face, and I'm realizing that it doesn't matter what I'm doing, it's not enough. And I was on my way to work one day. Because we were in a new house and didn't have a lot of money, we had a lot of empty rooms in this house, right? It was a 3-bedroom house, but it was one room that was right at the front door that was empty. It's where our formal dining is supposed to have gone. And I was walking out of the house, and I happened to just look to my left at that room. And I mean, I can still remember how I felt in that moment. I said to myself, I am going to create an office in this empty room. I'm going to start a business, and I am never going to go through this again. I was decided in that moment. I will never go through this again. This is ridiculous. And I made the decision, and I want you guys to write this down. This is when I had this revelation that my job controls my salary, but I control my income. You're absolutely right. You control how much I take home, no matter how much I pour into this job. You're absolutely right, corporate America. You're absolutely right. No matter how much I save you, this is what you're going to pay me. You're absolutely right. But what I do outside of these walls at this company, what I do to generate more income has nothing to do with you. That is my responsibility. The fact that I had to file bankruptcy because there was not enough, that is my fault. And once I realized that, the game changed. Once I realized I had full control over how much money I brought in, the game changed. It was in this moment, guys, that I immediately became capable of making multiple 6 figures. I hadn't made it yet, but I was capable of it. I was not capable of it the day before. 24 hours earlier, I didn't have the capability because my mind was blocked that I had to take what was given to me at the job, and that's all I could do to make money. My mind couldn't think outside of that. It was in this moment that I had unlocked my potential and increased my capacity. I had the capacity for more. I was open to more. I was open to solutions. I was open to change. I had increased my capacity. It was in this moment, I was still broke. I was still overwhelmed. I was still uncertain. All of those things did not change. Key says, I'm there now. All of those things did not change for me, Key. But let me tell you what happened. But because of this revelation, I had full control of having more, and I was free. Do you hear me? I was free. I knew this was never going to happen to me again. I didn't know how I was going to control it just yet, but I knew that I was going to become my own ATM machine. I was going to find out how to generate more money. And I'm still looking at the accounts, and it's still the same amount coming in, but I was going to figure this out. I had all hope that I was capable of it. And so now this is September 2013, guys. January 2014, I was at the only place I could afford to go at the time and spend all day. All right. The public library. I'm at the library. I'm with my son at the time. And I'm looking through books. I'm trying to figure out what I can do. What can I do? I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to get engrossed in things. And I stumble upon this book right here. 47 profitable small ideas you can start with $1,000 or less. Do you hear me? My interest was piqued. I said, well, okay. I mean, we don't even have 1,000 right now, but I'm telling you what, we could figure it out. $1,000 or less to start a whole business that could pay me for a lifetime. I was interested. So I'm flipping through the book. I'm saying, okay, I got to find something here that fits my personality. I'm naturally introverted, but I'm great at administration. I'm kind of great at paperwork and that kind of stuff. Working behind the scenes doesn't bother me not one bit. I don't need the stage. They can have it. So I'm just looking to what could fit me. And I happened to stumble upon virtual assistant. And you got to keep in mind, y'all, don't lose track of the time. This was 2014. Virtual assistant was not something that was really popular. And if it was popular, it's because it was happening overseas. All right. It wasn't something that it was really popular in the US. And I read that and I said, I would love to do this. And it was like, I'm telling y'all, it was like the words jumped off the page and became in 3D. And I could see myself in the future. I could see myself doing it. And it was with that inspiration that I had the plug to this moment that I had back when I was in that empty room. I had something to now plug it into. I had some adrenaline and that drive that was created in that moment, just having a tank full of gas and nowhere to go. Reading it in that book, I now could attach that gas to it. I could attach that engine to it. And I immediately sprung into action. Okay. By April 2014, I was doing my website. Okay. Website alone was more than $1,000. So there definitely was a hook and sink there, but sometimes a hook and sink is good for you. So I got my website. I hit LegalZoom up. How many of you still know about some LegalZoom? Hit LegalZoom up. I started my company. I got my LLC established. Look at this ugly shirt that my family rocking with me wore. We wore these ugly shirts because that was my logo at the time. It is not that ugly now, y'all, by God's grace. Okay. We got it together. But this is us back in 2014 when I finally got the business established. This is April. I want y'all to follow the timeline now, because what I want you to do is see yourself in the future. Okay. April 2014, I was getting all the business and paperwork together. By May 2014, I had my first client. I went from destitute, broke, to first client, and I got it with this ugly brochure. Can it get any uglier? I don't even know what I could have did to make it any uglier. The font is atrocious. My made up logo in the corner is terrible. It's just terrible. But somebody looked past my faults and saw my needs, honey, and they hired me to be there. And I had my first client. I was beyond excited. It was a proven concept. It was hope fulfilled. It was everything that you can imagine that I could get. And at the time, I was only looking to make an extra $500 a month. That was it. That was going to be like, whoo, it just took the pressure off, right? When you feel a pot bubbling, extra $500 a month, in my mind, that would just take the pressure off, and we could just move about, okay? And be able to pay bills and do things and live and not feel so stressed. So that was May 2014. By October 2014, I had my first hire. That is Tristan Skiles, who is still with me to this day, October 2014 was her very first day on the job. She was still working a 9-to-5, and she was doing this on the side. And I also was still working a 9-to-5. And at this point, me and her both were making a little bit of money. Okay, I had to share my little bit of money with her because I was working a 9-to-5 and I wouldn't be able to be available all the time. And at this point, we had a few clients, and we had some advice that I received early on when I started to finally explore this virtual assistant business. We had some advice that they said, you really have to find a niche. You really got to find a niche. And we didn't listen to none of that. Do you hear me? We went general, and it was come one, come all. And we realized that was really hurting us because we were constantly having to learn new industries. And so we finally took that advice that the riches are in the niches, and we went all in on real estate. And it was the best decision we could have made. We went all in on real estate, guys. And when I tell you, it was as if the heavens ripped open and all the blessings started pouring down. Like, we had enough faith to niche down, and it was a game changer for us. And so now we're making some money. Okay. Now it's flowing. Now the clients are calling. Now, oh, we heard you do real estate. We heard you do this. We heard you do that. And so now we had the money, but we were overwhelmed. We didn't have the infrastructure to handle that type of volume. We didn't have the policy and procedures to handle all of these different things that were coming at us. And so a book saved me again, guys. The E-Myth, okay, this is a book by Michael Gerber that really talks you through and slows you down on how to build a company that can handle volume, that'll teach you how to scale. And so this was a blessing to us. This really helped us. We slowed down everything, and we did every single principle in this book. I'm telling you this because a lot of these principles you'll see later in this presentation. And so now we were organized and we had some money. Somebody put best of both worlds in the chat. We had the best of both worlds, y'all. I don't know who has lied to you and told you that you cannot have the best of both worlds, but we had the best of both worlds when we were able to figure this out. We were able to still have our family time. We were all of that, and we still had money rolling in. And so by February 2015, we were both full-time in the business, y'all. Less than a year from our first client. Less than a year from our first client, we have both quit our jobs and were full-time in the business. And so I like to teach you and show you that journey so that you can see from the moment that I filed bankruptcy in September 2013, January 2014, I got the idea from a book. By February 2015, y'all, I wasn't even working that corporate job anymore. I was full-time in my business. It was a miracle of a year for me. I had no entrepreneurs in my family. I had never done this job before. I didn't even know what a virtual assistant was before I read it in that book. And by February 2015, the business I had no idea about, I was full-time in it. A miracle of a year. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you exactly what I did. I'm not leaving anything out. I can't wait to keep my promise to you. All right. To go from this, where it's just me and Tris rocking it, doing our best to keep afloat, to this. This is my team where we all came out. If you recognize that guy in the middle, that's Eric Thomas, E.T. the hip hop preacher. He came and did a session with my team. We flew him out. And not everybody could even attend because my team is spread out all over the nation. So this is some more beautiful faces that are supporting this company all over the U.S. I'm talking all over, from Texas to Virginia to Florida, all over. Louisiana are just some of the states that I'm seeing because I know exactly where everybody is. DC, Shannon's in DC. And so this is the journey. And I'm going to show you how I went from this to this. Somebody say new house. Somebody say new house. Y'all, this is the house I could barely keep over our heads, to this new house that we can pay with ease. Do you hear me? With ease. Don't think nothing about it. All right. Oh, shoot. It's getting close to and then just pay the bill. All right. With ease, guys. And so I'm showing you that to inspire you, to show you the journey, to show you the power of what this small business did for us. How we treated it like big business, and it paid us in big ways. It's so powerful and impactful that it inspired my husband. He got into the trucking industry, started his own company, because entrepreneurs breed entrepreneurs. So if you are worried about a spouse, or you're worried about your teenager, and you're worried about, you become an entrepreneur and watch how it inspired them, because entrepreneur is going to make you a different person. And they're going to see what it did for you and the resources it brought you and the income it brings you. And it'll inspire them to do the same, to take charge of their life. And entrepreneurs will begin to create that person and the people you love that can start to have the same fruit in their life. So this was just an incredible journey, how I went from looking at screensavers on my computer. I told you I was everything on that list too, to being able to go and explore all those places. Do you hear me? Went to all of them. Still got some things on my list, but went to all of them. This is us in London. So we were going around my mom's birthday. So guess what we did? Brought mommy with us. This is my mom. You see the cheekbones? Okay, that's my mommy. This right here is when my son was getting ready to turn 13. We surprised him with just minutes to spare, and we flew him out to Florida, where we stayed at a resort for a week. This is one of my birthdays where we flew over the Grand Canyon. This is me and my baby girl looking over the Grand Canyon. This is my kiddos in Jamaica, okay, at Tracks and Records, which is Usain Bolt's restaurant. And then this is my family that I flew out right here in the corner. I flew them out for a whole week in Florida. It wasn't anybody's birthday. It wasn't a holiday. I just did it so that all my mom could have her kids and her grandkids under one house and just love on them for a week. This is the journey. This is the journey. This was all derived after taking a chance on myself, not knowing anything. This was all derived on going all in on real estate. And I know you guys, of course, we all know what real estate is, but did you know that the real estate industry is the most lucrative industries in the history of economics? You need to write this down, because this is what you're going to start making the connection with as we go into the strategies on what you need to do if you want to start a similar business. The real estate industry is one of the most lucrative industries in the history of economics. Guess what that means? It ain't going nowhere. Even when it's down, it's up. Even when the industry's down, you can still make money from it. It's one of the most lucrative industries. Also, the work from home industry took the world by storm in 2020, has yet to slow down. Some of you still working from home after getting shifted from 2020, having to work from home. You still haven't went back to the office. Or maybe you're doing split, half home, half office. Like, it really was cliche back when I was really having to push and sell this as a work from home virtual assistant when I started in this industry. Now it is just the norm. So when you blend those two things together, guys, it's no better time than now to get into this industry and make money from home in the comfort of your own home with your slippers on, okay, with your pajama pants on. Now is the time to do it. And one of the things, because I'm getting ready to get into the teaching part, okay, so one of the premier services of a real estate virtual assistant, also known as REVA, is a transaction coordinator. How many of you ever heard of that before? Put a 1 if you have, and put a 2 if you have not. Okay, I really would love to know if you've ever heard of a real estate transaction coordinator before, because this is where you're going to be able to do the less and make the most money. Okay, so I want you to really understand what this is, and I'm going to walk you through. I'm going to make it simple for you. You're going to know exactly what it is. Melissa says she's heard of it. Okay, great. So there are very few real estate agents on the planet that don't find this service to be the most valued investment of their career. Do you hear me? The most valued investment of their career, because it takes so much off of their plate. They can do so much more in return for their time. And so there's just not many agents that once they get one, they never want to let it go. Okay. So here's what I do and what you can do too. This, guys, this is when, if you don't know what one is, or if you know what one is, but you don't really understand the process, this is where you're going to understand it. So for me to break it down, we're going to do a visual. Okay. I put a whole visual together. You're going to love this. Okay. Because it's going to make it super simple. So here's how we're going to go through the journey to really understand what it is. Let's understand who's paying us. Meet Glenda. Okay. She's the one that pays us. So Glenda's a real estate agent, and Chris and Sarah Thompson are her clients. Okay. She's working with them, try to find him a house, right? They're buying a house. And lo and behold, Glenda works on, and this is not an easy task. Glenda gets them under contract. Come on, give it up for Glenda. Glenda gets them under contract. Chris and Sarah happy. Glenda's happy. But what also comes with this accomplishment is a list of responsibilities. This is the entire list that Glenda now has to do. This is the paperwork side of that transaction, right? So she's out running around the city, helping them find a house. And then once she secures that house, this is the paperwork side. Getting everything sent to the title company, getting it sent to the lender is this inspections scheduled? And are the dates on the calendar? Did she upload all her docs in her broker system? Did she help transfer the utilities for them? Did she ensure all the title docs are received? Because dates come up and they go by and oh shoot, did I make sure that I have the commitment, the title commitment? So it's her job to make sure all of this is done. So while it's an exciting time for Glenda to secure that contract, it also is a time where it has a huge responsibility to be a good steward over that contract, right? You want to be a good steward over it. So Glenda, she's got a lot going on, okay? She's starting to get a little bit stressed because guess what? It's also family night. She's supposed to be spending some time with her family. And then the very next day, she has to go out with some buyers from out of town. They're looking in the 500K range. She's really not trying to let them down, okay? So she needs them feeling like she's all in. So Glenda, as you can tell, is overwhelmed. But she gets an idea. Glenda says, you know what I need to do? I need to get me a transaction coordinator so they can take care of everything in this red block. I need all of this off my plate so that I can focus. And this is where you come in. Look at you. Look at you looking so comfy, okay? Got your coffee cup there. So this is the role of a transaction coordinator. You take on this paperwork list. You charge $350 a file, or depending on where you are, you can charge even more. So you charge $350 per file, and you take that contract and all that paperwork off of Glenda's responsibility list. And now this changes the process for Glenda. So now Glenda works with somebody. This is her working with people. She gets them under contract. And she sends it over to her transaction coordinator. She can spend more time with her family. Then she can go back out with more clients. Come on, the cycle has changed. She gets them under contract. She sends the file to you. She spends time with her family. She can go work with more clients. And so now it's shifted. So Glenda's got a little pep in her step. Do you hear me? Can't tell her nothing. All right. She's out with coffee. She's declined Brad's invitation for coffee for months, but now she can say yes because she didn't have to spend all her mornings doing paperwork. And Brad says, well, I'm sure glad you finally said yes to me. What is going on with you? She said, Brad, let me tell you, I got this transaction coordinator, and I'm telling you, I am able to finally focus on just getting more clients. I'm able to focus on getting them under contract, getting more listings. I don't have to worry about the paperwork as heavily as I did. Oh my God, it's just such a blessing. Brad says, well, hand over the number. Because what Brad thinking to himself is, shoot, I'm 2 times busier than Glenda. Okay, so I know a transaction coordinator can do me some good. And so there you go. You take the call. And guess what you're getting? More money, more money, more money. You making more money because Brad busier than Glenda. So Brad got a big mouth. All right, he's a social butterfly and we love him. So Brad goes out and tells all his real estate agent friends, oh my gosh, you're going to love this transaction coordinator. Oh my goodness, you've got to call her. She's amazing. She's amazing. And so one of Brad's friends is Mark. And guess what Mark got? A whole team. Y'all better party with me. Mark got a whole team. So when Mark calls you, okay, because Mark, he ain't wasting no time. Mark gives you a call. And what you realize is he's got a whole team. And we got more money, more money, more money. So we got Glenda, we got Brad, we got Brad's friends, we got Mark, we got the whole team. This us rocking. This us rocking. Keith said, hey, I'm telling you, y'all, it's a beautiful thing. So now you have the role of the transaction coordinator. So you're taking this paperwork off their desk. You making $350 a pop. Boom, boom, boom. But you're using automations. You're using templates. The time it's taking you to please them and make them happy, they have no idea. It's a fraction of the day for you. But you're making $350 a pop, and you've acquired all these agents. Meanwhile, you haven't did a dance on TikTok. Meanwhile, you haven't had to figure out how to do an Instagram reel. You got this all just through word of mouth. Okay, word of mouth, because good news travels fast. Good news travels fast, especially in a service-based business, especially when somebody's talking with somebody, they hear their pain points and they know that was them 3 months ago, but that pain has gone away because they have a transaction coordinator. They slide your name in. These people it's layups for the agents to spread the news. And so now you're doing about 30 contracts in a month, just rocking, just you by yourself, doing 30 contracts in a month. Let's do the math on that. $10,500 in 1 month from doing these contracts, using automations, using templates, using things that don't take so much of your time. Y'all, I was making $3,200 a month, saving the company millions. Do you understand me? And I shifted so quickly to real estate, and it was not long before this was my reality. $10,000 a month is what we were making. Yes, Cedra. So it's 350 per contract. Okay, per contract. So now, if I had to be honest, okay, because we telling the truth on tonight, I was happy when it was Glenda and Brad. Okay, I was happy then. We were happy then when we had that, Cedra. But once we got everybody and Brad got to run in his mouth, and now we got Mark, we got the team, it was a little bit exhausting. Okay, and so this is when I had my own idea, and I said, what if I hired a transaction coordinator to work for me, help me with these files? We could spread the love a little bit. And let me tell you, second best decision I could have ever made. Let me tell you, because what happened is I hired one person. They were able to take 25 contracts. I shifted the contracts I was doing, shifted that over to them. Okay. Then I was able to hire somebody else because the news was still spreading fast, y'all. Then I hired somebody else. Then I hired somebody else. And you saw my team. It was not long before we had 4 transaction coordinators moving about 100 contracts a month. You times that by $350 a file, guys, we were bringing in $35,000 a month from doing transaction coordinating. This the girl that didn't know nothing, that didn't know even what a VA was 15 seconds ago, was bringing in $35,000 a month. And L. Tucker, it's not a game. I got receipts. You'll notice this is a thread throughout the whole. I showed you my real bankruptcy documents. Okay, you already know, and I don't mind showing receipts. These are real sales that I pulled to extract to show you. I went back. I said, let me pull. I said, Tristan, pull me something from July 2021 to 2020. I want them to see over the course of years, averaging $42,000 one month, $27,000 one month, $30,000 one month. This is all with me shifting the contracts to the team. I'm not even doing contracts no more. Okay, Keith, we ain't even talked about, I'm not even doing contracts no more. And so this is when I retired from being a transaction coordinator. This is when I hired myself as a CEO. I stopped working in my business. I started working on my business. This is when, as the team was working on those 100 contracts that were percolating through the company, this is when I was able to go out on vacation. This is when I started to create these memories right here. Because I started to place all of my company in a system with a team, and it worked beautifully. And I think the most inspiring part about this whole conversation for you should be, it doesn't matter where you start. Because I started bankrupt. I started in a deficit. I started not being able to go and get a bank loan. I started not being able to go and build business credit and do any of that because my social was tied up in this bankruptcy. I couldn't make any moves. I started having to figure it all out just based off of the income of the business, and I still excelled month after month after month. I started making $3,200 a month to making $33,000 in a month within a year's time. I started out knowing nothing and learning on the way, and then all the things I mastered is what I'm about to teach you next. That's the exciting part. This is where I am now. This is me and my baby in Hawaii on a school day. On a school day, okay? Because I have a teacher that's hired to be her homeschool teacher so that I can just let her know, hey, Mariah, we're going to be gone next week. Okay, so y'all can catch up whenever we get back. I don't. How many of you would like to be able to call a school to do that? How many of them act like they want to take you to the penitentiary if your children miss 3 days in a row, like you didn't give birth to them? I don't understand it. They act like you're going to go to jail if you want to take your own children, okay, your own babies out of school. So I said, we're not playing those games, because once I was able to figure out how to scale a business in an active bankruptcy, honey, figuring other things out came very easy for me. Because once you start figuring things out, you start figuring things out. All right. Key says she got a bankruptcy qualified too. I hear you. Okay. Don't matter where you start. I promise you, it actually makes the story more beautiful. God would love something to bless. He would love something to wants that testimony to be powerful. Okay. You take that repossession and you share with anybody you know once we get this win. That's how it's going to work. So now, Key, you trying to get me all distracted. Okay. I've got to stay focused now. I got to get y'all out of here. I promise after the 2-hour masterclass, I'm going to get y'all out of here on time. So now I got to share y'all with the secrets. This is the point in this conversation where I'm going to keep my promise. This is the point where I'm going to show you exactly how I started, exactly how I scaled, exactly how I sustained. All right. If you're a note taker, this is when you want to get your pen and pad out. All right. Because this is where I'm going to show you exactly how I started. So here are the keys to start this business if you wanted to do the same. If you wanted to hang out with this class tonight and start on these tasks tomorrow, this is exactly what I did and what you could do as well. So the very first thing you have to do, guys, is get your EIN and LLC. Okay. Your EIN is going to be it's called your employment identification number. All right. So you need employment identification number and you need to get your LLC. I utilize LegalZoom for the whole thing, but I've had other businesses that I've started since then, and EINs I have sometimes done on my own. Never have done an LLC on my own. So I use LegalZoom for that. You might know someone that does these. You might have another service that you like to use, but those are the very first two things that you need to do is get your legal structure established for your business. All right. Right after that is when you want to go ahead and get your website. Okay. You want to go ahead and get your domain and get your website. By the time you have your LLC, you know that name is approved. You know what website you can secure. Okay. You want to make it short. Some of you, this is not when you want to use your baby's name as inspiration for your website. You want to be something Googleable, searchable. You want to stand out to real estate agents that this is what I do. Okay. I do transactions. I do real estate virtual assistant. And so you want to make sure that's incorporated somewhere, either in your name or your tagline. Now, back when I started, there was no Squarespace. I think Wix was around, but the Wix sites was terrible, okay, at the time. Not that I should have cared, as ugly as my brochures were, but I didn't. I ended up getting a WordPress site at the time, but now I only work with template-based websites. It's just too easy. It's too easy. And now that you can still do SEO where you're searchable in Google and all that good stuff. So you can use template sites like Squarespace and Wix if you are comfortable with drag and drop websites. If not, you can go on Fiverr, Fiverr, and you can find somebody that can set up your Squarespace and Wix sites if you get stuck. Some people kind of start it, and then when they get stuck, they hire Fiverr to kind of finish them out. So that is what we do for the website. The next thing is you want to get your email and your Drive. So this is where you can use a business Google Suite. We use Google to set up ours. You set up your company email, because what we're not doing, we're not doing Cedras. We cannot have Cedra transactions at gmail.com. Okay, we can't do that. So we have to have it to where it's at your company name so we can be professional. Okay, because we gotta get above the competition. You also will have your drives connected to that. So everybody's pretty familiar with Google Drive, but just in case, you just never know. But all your drives and where you can store your documents, it's all connected to that. Even if the documents get high, because sometimes they can be larger files, to upgrade to like 1 terabyte, which is like more than you're ever going to need in life, is like $10 a month. It's super cheap. Okay. DM me, Cedra, DM me. Okay. Cause that's a whole nother conversation. All right. I have to do a whole nother masterclass on that, but DM me. I don't mind answering that. Tiffany Haynes Code on Instagram is where you can find me. All right. So finishing up keys to start. So you want to set up your business bank account. What you can do is on your business bank account, you can utilize the bank you're already using for your personal. But some of you may want to explore banks that are more customized and show more favor to small businesses. And so if you want to do that, you can also do your research. The 3 business banks that I use and am currently using and happy with still are Navy Federal, PNC, and First Horizon. First Horizon used to be Iberia Bank, but I think within the past year or so, they switched to First Horizon. So those are the 3 business banks I can personally vouch for. Okay, I can't vouch for the rest of them, even though I'm sure there's some that are incredible, even probably better than the ones I'm using. But the ones I have, because now it's been over 10 years, I was able to get lines of credit with. I was able to just really establish relationships with and do things that maybe other banks and bigger banks might give you some pushback on. So just be mindful of that when you're selecting your business bank account. If you miss those banks, again, that's First Horizon, PNC, and Navy Federal. Yes, Key, Navy Federal is excellent. Navy Federal has been very good to me. Candace, I did repeat it. Maybe it was after I saw your message though. So First Horizon, Navy Federal, and PNC Bank. PNC Bank's been great. So the 5th thing you need to do is get your contract training, okay? Because the key to having a successful transaction coordinating as that premier service is understanding that contract in your state. So I think I remember seeing Florida and some of the places that you guys are in. I am in Texas. And so what you want to do is find the official association of realtors, of real estate agents, whatever they call it in your state. Find the official association and look for the contract training in your state at that association. The reason why I say that, all right, because if you put, North Carolina, residential contract training, and you just Google it, you're going to get a plethora of third-party companies that want to teach you how to read those contracts. And I'm not saying they're not great, but what I can't vouch for is that as clauses change and new laws change, that they have the most accurate information within that contract training. The only way that I can truly vouch for that is if you go straight to the association and get the training there. The price for that typically ranges between $100 and $300. Okay, so it's just very little compared to the money that you're going to make after understanding these contracts. And so you're looking for, that's a good question. You're going to be looking, she said, what types of contracts are you looking for training for? Residential contracts for your state. So in Texas, it's called 1 to 4 residential. What that means is if it's a duplex, a triplex, all of that is going to be on that same contract. That's the main contract that you want to learn is what is the residential, single family residential contract for my state. Okay, that's what you want to learn first, because that's going to be 99% of what you're going to see come across your desk that they want transaction coordinating for. Okay, so residential. So let's say, Elle, what state are you in? Drop your state. Drop your state. And so you're just going to use residential contract. You pop in that state, and then you're going to see it. You're going to know if it's the official association. So for Texas, it's the Association of Realtors. They can't use terms like that if that's not who they are. Does that make sense? So legally, you're going to know that's them because of how they posture themselves. You're going to be able to tell immediately when you get on the website. So Georgia, absolutely, Elle. So Georgia you're going to be looking for residential contract, Georgia. You're just going to plug that into your search engine and you'll be able to find it. And the next thing you go do is go get some clients. Okay. We learned the contract. We set up our business bank account. We got our email. We're ready. So now it's time to go get some clients. It's Lakeisha. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Lakeisha. So tell me in the chat, who feels like they could do that? Lakeisha, did I give anything too hard? Did I give anything too hard? Candace, I think we can handle that. If myself could figure it out, okay, when nobody's experienced, I'm pretty sure y'all can blow me out the water. So I really want to reiterate this timeline, okay, just in case you forgot. Okay, here's the timeline, y'all. January 2014, I had the idea from the book. Okay, April 2014, I set up the LLC, the website, and the email. I had never done those things before for anybody's business, especially not my own. I figured it out. I was able to do it. Key said I could do this. You sure can, Key. May 2014, I had my first client, y'all. October 2014, I hired my first girl, that Tristan Skiles, still rocking with me. February 2015, I was full-time in my business. Look at this right here. First client May, full-time February, less than a year. December 2016, we had made the company referral only. What that means is if you were not referred by an active client, we would not even take you. We were at capacity. We had too much. If we took everybody that wanted to come to us, we'd be working 24 hours a day. This is where I then was able to have my energy that I was putting out into my business match what was coming into my bank account. I said, okay, this is more than we need for right now. We don't need anybody just finding us online, Googling us, pulling us up, and then calling and saying, can you work with me? Can you take my files? We would tell you, no, we are a referral only company. You have to be referred by an active agent. People would ask, well, can I see your active agent list? Well, maybe I know somebody that could put a good word in for me. It was like trying to get into the club. Okay. I'm no longer going to the club, but come on, Key. You know, we ain't been saved all our life. Okay. By July 2018, we were doing quarterly open enrollments. And so what that means is every quarter for 2 weeks, we would say, okay, anybody can come. And then the 14th day at midnight, we shut the door shut, and we were referral only again. And this is where we finally found our groove and our balance of being able to take on new clients, but not overwhelm us and the staff. Because I showed you, Glenda, Brad's friends, Mark and his team, how fast it it goes fast enough with just the referrals. Okay. With just the referrals, we had 25 people working for us when we did the referrals. Okay. So it can go very, very fast. And so here's my receipt, y'all. This was and I got to find all of this stuff when I was getting ready for this masterclass. It was really fun to kind of go back in time, y'all, because it's been so long. So this is us when we sent the email out. We said, good morning. A year and a half ago, Virtual Business Solutions Real Estate quadrupled in clientele in just 6 months. Quadrupled, y'all. We couldn't train and mentor staff fast enough to ensure we could over-deliver on our promises, as that is our standard. We decided to transition to referral only, where we accepted clients that were referred by active clients, our partners, and we accepted clients that attended classes we sponsored. We're going to talk about that in a little second. As not to alienate the awesome group of agents that may not have been referred, we began quarterly open enrollments, and this is when we did open enrollments. This is the first email we sent out when we made that decision, and that was in July 2018, okay? And so that's what we've kind of been doing ever since. And so I know you say, wait a minute now, Tiff, you're taking me kind of fast. Now you went from, you got first client and then you went referral only. Granted, we understand that people refer each other and we saw the Glenda story, but it had to be some other stuff you was doing. Somebody say, spill the secrets, all right? Because I'm holding back, okay, but not for long. About the next 30 seconds, you about to see what else we did that we scaled so quickly. Let me tell you a secret to scaling so quickly is I didn't have any trainings that I could go to for this business. Back then, they didn't exist. So I had to figure it out on my own, and I had to just use ideas that I thought I could work. And then some idea would work. And so it was like, okay, try this idea. It didn't work. You toss that idea. Try this idea. This worked. Keep this idea. And so what you get to experience, guys, is all the ideas that work and then work consistently for me over the years in every market. I only want to present those ideas to you. And I took those ideas and created the 6L marketing method. You can't even search this online, guys. I created this myself. It's trademarked by me because this is what I came up with that worked for us. And it was things that I was not seeing other real estate virtual assistants doing. So this is where we spill it all. April, I'm coming, girl. I'm spilling all the secrets. So the very first thing we did, and this is when you guys are gonna be like, okay, now that was a no-brainer, but people weren't doing it, okay? So the very first thing we did is if an agent, a real estate agent or a broker, okay, which means they have a bunch of agents under them, we're looking to hire a real estate assistant, okay? Now, keep in mind, I didn't say virtual. They were looking to hire a real estate assistant because this was 10 years ago where virtual wasn't popular like it is now. And what they would say is, this is what we're looking for. This is the attributes we want them to have. And so I would apply to those and I would say, hey, I know you're not interested in, and this is, I'm gonna give you a quick little script secret. Okay, so listen to this. So I say, I know you're not interested in hiring a virtual assistant. Maybe you didn't even consider that, but I am fully trained. I've done, at this point, we probably did like 700 contracts. We've now done over 5,000. I said, we've done 700 contracts, and we understand this process better than any assistant that you can hire that you have to train, right? Because we build our whole business around pleasing you, pleasing the client, and pleasing everybody in your network. And if you would just give us just try us out for 30 to 60 days, we can prove to you that this is probably going to be a better fit for you. Why is it a better fit? Because next month, when you don't have any contracts and you still got to pay somebody a fixed salary, that's going to be hard on your bottom line. Where we are per file as needed, right? It's easier to know that you're always going to have the income to be able to support your business and to be able to pay us. And so people would be like, okay, I never thought of that, but they would try us out. Honey, and once you get into these claws, you never let go. I'm telling you, we would treat them so well. We were such good stewards over them. They would stay with us forever. And so this is one of the first things I did, y'all. This was free. Didn't cost me any money. Didn't cost me a dime, just a little bit of my time. The very first client that we acquired that did real estate, we got doing this. As you know, I was in active bankruptcy. I ain't had no money to be doing nothing else. This is how we got our very first client. And she probably referred us to about 4 people, right? So it really started the snowball effect of clients coming into the company for this service. So you look just on Indeed, Monster, anywhere where you see job postings, and don't look for real estate virtual assistant job postings, look for real estate assistant, look for transaction coordinator, look for listing coordinator. That's basically the same thing a transaction coordinator does, but it's prior to that property hitting the market is when you're on the listing side, which means the agent is the one that's representing the seller. Okay. And so you look for those job postings. So April, I'm gonna run them to you one more time. So it's look for listing coordinator positions, transaction coordinator positions, and real estate assistant positions. And then you would apply to those and explain what you do and how it benefits them more by working with you and doing it with you than it would be if they were to hire somebody and have a fixed expense. Okay. So that's secret number one. Secret number two. All right. So like and comment, y'all, you got to keep in mind, I was doing this with no money. So these first few free 99. Okay. It don't cost you nothing but a little time. And I was using all the extra time I had to grow this business. So what I would do is I would just befriend all the high producing agents in my market that were local, right? Because you always want to start out in your local market. And by local, I mean your city. Forget the state. You want to start out nurturing and loving on the agents in your city that are high producing. So I would befriend them on social media, on Facebook. I would like and comment on all of their posts, all of them. Like and comment, okay? And what that does is it intrigues them. Who is this person, right? If anybody has social media and somebody that you do not know comments on just 2 of your posts, you clicking on their profile. You're like, who are you? Okay. Investigative case is officially open and you click on it. And so they would do that to me. And guess what? I would have waiting on them. Honey, a full course meal, honey. You was going to know exactly what I did. You're going to see some testimonials that I have pinned up to you're going to see my website right there in the profile. Click right on it and come right on in. My website was going to be there and have all the information. And then what they would do is that even if they just looked and said, okay, it's cute. All right. And even if they don't reach out right then and there, I'm still liking, commenting on everything. So when they hit that pain point, when they hit that stressor, when they say, okay, I'm really working these files, I need some help. Guess what they're going to do? This girl, let me message her. Let me DM her. Let me DM him. And they say, hey, I saw that you do transaction coordinating. Can we set up a call? Why, yes, you can. And come get this 10-minute close because I've mastered the 10-minute close. I close them out. We send them a contract and we work with them forever. Okay. This is the good thing about securing these people, guys. When you do the listing strategy, when you do the like and comment strategy, once they close with you, they're paying you over and over and over and over again. That's the point that should get you excited. You're not selling purses. You're not selling perfume. You're not selling something that once you do one sell of it, they may or may not come back. You're selling something that they're going to continue to use over and over and over again. So the work it takes to convert one person, you're really converting 1,000 contracts for yourself. You're really converting 300 contracts for yourself. You're really converting income that's going to pay you every single month until they no longer are working with you. And what I'm going to teach you in the next phase is going to make sure they're always working with you. Okay. So that's that secret. Here's a third one. We got to make sure we keep it moving. I don't want to go late. I'm trying to be a good steward over y'all's time. So the third one, okay, this one I spent just a little bit of money. Okay. Like $300, like that's it. But this is a really good one. So listen, so in every real estate market, I want y'all to understand this. So put your listening caps on. Okay. In every real estate market, whenever, let's say Key, okay, Key, let's say you're a real estate agent. And Key, let's say you have a client that's putting their home on the market. You're representing the sellers. They're putting their home on the market. What you would do is you would call ABC Marketing in your city and you would say, hey, can you send my flyer out to all of the agents in my county so that they know I have a new listing that hit the market and they can bring me a buyer, right, Key? So this is just using you as an example. So then Key calls ABC Marketing. They send that flyer out to all of those listings in that county. And then all the agents can say, oh, shoot, I didn't know there was going to be a new, okay, I need to bring my clients over there. Maybe we could potentially buy that house, right? So what happens is, okay, April, come in. What happens is once you start your business, you call ABC Marketing and you say, hey, I know you typically work with real estate agents. So I'm sure I'll be a third-party vendor, but I would like to put a flyer together promoting what I do in my business. And I would like you to send that out to that same list. Could be 1,000 agents, could be 2,000 agents, could, depending on the county you're in, could be 5,000 agents. And they go, absolutely. That'll be normally it's about, I've spent between $150 and $300, right? And they send it out. And I'm not lying or exaggerating. I would be on the phone for 3 days closing out agents. The phone would ring off the hook. Do you understand me? And I'm hitting them with the 10-minute close, 10-minute close, sitting contract, 10-minute close, sitting contract, 10-minute close. It was absolutely insane, to the point we probably would do it once or twice a year, and we would be good for the next 6 months, because we would be inundated, because you would get rid of anybody that's not your target market, and you have a flyer going to your target market. All right. So this was strategy number 3. And these type of services is in any market that you guys live in. Any market you live in, they have this service. Okay. So that's secret number 3. All right. Got more secrets for you, because it's the 6L marketing method. So secret number 4, y'all, this is how I got my money makers. Okay. This is how I got brokers and team leads and all of that. Am I keeping my promise key? As I'm spilling all my secrets over here. I hope y'all taking notes. So this is where I did lunch and learns. Okay. So when you host lunch and learns, you partner up with lenders, with title companies, with insurance agents. And you know how you didn't have to look far for these people, because these are the people you are already communicating with, because you were doing transaction coordinating. So they're getting emails from you. They're already in conversation with you. So they already know who you are. And the good thing about it is there's a strategy for lunch and learns. If you're introverted, if you're extroverted, type what you are in the chat. Do you feel like you're introverted or extroverted? You don't mind being out front, and some of you just like, put me in the back. I don't want to be in the front at all. Put that. I'm just curious who I'm talking to, but I'm gonna give you both strategies for what it was. I'm naturally introverted. I prefer to just stay behind the scenes. Okay. The only reason why I'm coming out from behind the scenes is to come get my people that want to do this too. Okay. And I'll quickly be back where you found me. So, okay. So my introverted people. Okay. So good. So Melissa, Jesse, Nakia, listen. Okay. Okay. Here we go. This is what I would do. We'd have a lunch and learn. Okay. You say put me in the back. We have a lunch and learn. And this is me. Okay. This is me. This is Katie. She's worked at the title company. Okay. This is my girl she was a lender. And this is Mike. He's an insurance guy. We would get in the front at the beginning and explain what our business did. Okay. This is the introverted side. You at least got to explain what your business does. I need 60 seconds. Okay. Listen to whatever you got to listen to pump yourself up. You got to at least talk about your business for about 60 seconds. The good thing is they come up there with you. By then, y'all are all friends and know each other's kids' names. So it's like having family up there with you. So you talk about your situation for about 60 seconds. You tell them what you do. Okay. Then look where I ended up at in the back. You hear Mike working. You hear he ain't even paying attention to the lesson. You bring somebody in that doesn't mind teaching. And those are a dime a dozen. It's a bunch of people that would love to teach real estate agents, whatever their niche is. And so you bring the teachers in, you only got to go at the very beginning. And then at the very end, we sometimes will come up just in case somebody came in late, recap what we did. And then if you want to learn more information, come and talk to me personally. You hang around for 10, 15 minutes after class. People come up to you, they ask you questions. And let me show you something, because y'all think it's a game. Okay. Y'all think it's a game. Every red arrow down you see ended up becoming clients of mine. And look at this lunch and learn, guys. It's not a lot of people there, but people that come and do lunch and learns, that means they're full-time real estate agents. A lot of times it meant they're either team leads or brokers. This is where I may not have had the quantity of doing that marketing blast, but I had the quality. I was pulling in brokers and in full teams, and they'd have 6, 7, 8, 9 agents that would be sending us contracts. And so this is where we really got premium quality clients, is doing lunch and learns. And it was so easy to build these relationships because it was people that we were talking to every single day doing the contracts. I mean, it was so perfect. Over time, even my introverted self would start to do them more and more. Look at this. I did it over and over and over again. Over and over and over again. It was like, why stop something that's working? Why fix was not broken? And so we would do them once a month. We ended up branding the class as something, and we did them once a month, and we would bring agents in. And it wasn't long before I built up a little confidence of my own, and I started teaching some of the classes. That's me. This is a class I did. It was a marketing class. And you just teach on what you're naturally gifted at, what you're naturally good at. When I first started teaching, the class that I did, guys, that would sell out every year, we used to do it once a year, was a goal planning class. just because I had this really super cool creative way that I went about doing my goals. And so I said, well, I was talking to the partners. I said, I could teach this one. Like, I could do this with full confidence. I taught that class, guys, and every year it would sell out. This is me after one of those classes that I was teaching, and we had to do this one at a university because it was way too many people that wanted to come. So we need a big conference room, like one that could at least fit, 200 people. And so I would do the goal planning class always at the end of the year. And so I had built up my own confidence. So this is if you're a little extroverted, okay, you can go ahead and just host your own class and do it with the partners. But I don't seem like I know extroverted people here. So y'all might just want to stick with this method. But look how well it worked for me, right? Look at all those people that ended up signing up. And so this was really how I got the premium clients. This was a game changer for the company. And every single month it paid dividends. Do you hear me? Every single month. So that's the lunch and learn strategy. That's how you get the premium clients. All right, come on. I got to get y'all the fifth one. Get you the fifth one. This was a really cool one. Okay, so local magazines. So every market, okay, I think somebody's in Miami, all of that. Every market has a real estate magazine. And this is where they feature high producing agents, different things like that. So the market I'm in Dallas, it's called Real Producers. And Real Producers, while they have, like, we were North DFW Real Producers, which is Dallas Fort Worth, even though they have that, Real Producers is now going into different markets. So if you're in Miami, I would search Real Producers Miami or Real Producers, wherever, Houston, right? So wherever city you're in. And what I was able to do is I called them up. I talked to the publisher. The publisher's normally local, and we went out for coffee. And I told them what I did. I told them, how I built systems, how we create automations, this is how we support agents. And guess what we figured out at this coffee date? He said, I really could use some automations on the system that I'm using to get the agents' photos and all that so I can present them in the magazine. I said, well, absolutely. We can set that system up for you. I can assign a virtual assistant to you that can manage that process for you. And in exchange, if you could just put me in the magazine as a vendor, that would work well for me. Okay. Don't got no problem doing that. And guess what we did? Just that. This is the magazine, North DFW Real Producers. They had me listed as one of their preferred partners, the real estate virtual assistant, my company information, and I was on the Meet the Team page because there I was the content coordinator and assistant. And guess what you think happened when high producers saw that in there as the preferred partner? They would call me. I hit them with the 10-minute close, and they pay me over and over and over again. I'm telling y'all, premium clients came from this strategy, and you could do it too. And whatever market you're in, you could do it too. Okay. Come on, somebody. All right. Because that took just a little bit of staff assignment. Meanwhile, I'm paying them staff my internal rate. Okay. Because of the staff that's assigned to do it, I'm paying them the internal hourly rate, and I'm making dividends on the end by agents that are calling me. And guess who picks up this agent? It's the top 500 producers in that area. So the top 500 is the ones that get the magazine, and they see your face and they call you. Y'all better talk back to me. Okay. Come on, we got to keep moving because we still got to do this last section. So the number 6 thing is link to refer. Link to refer is where you're going to have the opportunity, which is what you've already learned, for the agents to refer you. But instead of having the opportunity and it being a secret, okay, you're going to use that as an actual marketing method that you're going to send out emails at least once a week, where the only thing in that subject line is, do you know somebody that can use our services? We pay, or something like that. You're going to use something that stands out where the agents know, oh, shoot, I got this big invoice coming up. Let me refer some of my people to knock this invoice down a little bit. Because what you can do is you can just say, we'll discount your invoice. We discounted invoices for it. You can do different things. You might say, we'll do half off of a contract, or whatever you want to do. As long as it saves the agent money and adds value to them, they're going to do it with ease, especially if you're doing right by them, especially if you're being a good steward of their files and of their clients. And so we just made it intentional. Every invoice had a link to refer and had it stand out. On every newsletter, we had a nice block where it stood out. This is how you refer, and this is how you can benefit from it. We had the email that would go out once a week. That's all it talked about. We have a post on social media. Like, we always put it out there that you could benefit by referring business to us. Like, we just put it out there. And because we put it out there, it was never a secret. A lot of companies have referral opportunities, but you got to like scrape and look and how many try to how to refer this software. You got to click and go to settings and profile and try to find it. And you don't have to do that with this. You want to put it out there. You want it to be well known. You want it to be overly communicated. Okay. This is how you can refer. Okay. So this is how we referred everybody. And this is the 6L marketing method. If you want to know how we went from our first client to referral only, it was doing all of these 6 things. All of these 6 things. That's it. And so this is the cycle of a referral. I want to show you this real quick, okay? Because this is how powerful it is. All right. So Jennifer, okay, who reached out to 2 agents at the same time. She put them all in a group text. And this is on Facebook. So it's like a group message on Facebook. And she's saying, ladies, meet my good friend Tiffany. She's the one I was telling you about this morning. How many of you want your name mentioned in rooms when you're not even in it? Okay. And it's good news about your name, right? So she was telling about them in person. And now she's creating the group message where she was introducing me to them, telling them, if you are ready for the next level, that is Tiffany. We had made a name for ourselves, and Jennifer was spreading the good news. Okay. Jennifer trying to get her invoice knocked down too. All right. They all had intentions. And so Jennifer spreads the news. Now here's where I want y'all to see the link, the cycle of the referral. As you can see, Kalisha is one of the people over here. Okay. Kalisha is in a real estate office where this guy is the broker. Okay. His name is Julian. Guess what Julian got? Guess what he got? A whole team. Julian got a whole team. And Kalisha tells Julian, oh my God, you're going to love her. I had a conversation with her. It seems like our whole office could benefit from what she's doing. I get on the call with Julian. I hit him with the 10-minute close. Me and Julian work together. And he guess how many times Julian paid me for him and all his agents over and over and over again. Had such a good relationship, multiple years, back-to-back awards. We were partner of the year. Partner of the year for Julian. This started out with a Facebook group message, y'all. So this is the cycle of when you make it known, how your referral process works. We got Kalisha, who got us Julian, who got us the whole team, who got us so much business that we were partner of the year. Tell me in the chat, okay? Are these marketing ideas simple? Have I given anything that should add any little percolations of sweat to your forehead? Okay, these were simple. Do you guys agree that this is stuff that you can do? All right. All right, I got 2 questions. I'm gonna answer these, and then I'm gonna show you the real game changer. Candace says, do you have a referral software you recommend? So we would just use, guys, we kept it simple. We would just use a job form and they fill it out. We have them put their information, the client's information, and we had it attached automatically to a spreadsheet that we would check every time we did invoicing to see if we owed anybody an invoice for a secure client. That was it. So we did ours very simple. I'm sure, Candace, there's some super duper cool software out, but we just kept it simple and did it that way. Jesse says, so you have the contract in place and then invoice them for the file once the file and closing is done. Jesse, that's a good question. Yes, we personally invoice at the end, and instead of waiting for the agent to pay us, we would actually have the title company pay us. Okay, that's what Jesse. Okay, you don't want to have a third party. You just, when you're paying everybody out on this closing, please add us to the list and send us our coins. Okay, you can direct deposit that in our account. Thank you, title company. All right, so Jesse, that's a little strategy for you to make sure you don't have to wait for somebody to pay your invoice. Okay, so you save that for you. That wasn't even a part of this presentation, but Jesse pulled it out. All right, y'all can thank Jesse. So now we've learned how to start. Okay, we learned how to scale, and now we want to make sure that we keep the clients that we've acquired. Okay, how many of you are over getting something and losing it? All right, so I'm going to show you how we kept the clients we acquired. I'm going to show you how there's clients that we've had the first year and they're still paying us now. I'm going to show you, this is what you should be most interested in learning, right? because I know we're people of integrity. I know it's not all about getting these people. It's about being good stewards of these people. And this is where I established the 3I CPS principles. Again, this is trademarked by me. So it's only taught by me and what I've learned along the way, that this is the things that I teach anybody that I hire. Anybody that I hire, I teach them these principles, because this is the only way that you can work for Virtual Business Solutions. This was the only way that you could work and be an extension of my name. If I'm going out smiling and grinning at these classes, what you can't do is I get the people back to the company and you embarrass me. I had to make sure that you were good stewards over these people, giving their livelihood to you, which are these files, which are these contracts. And so for us to do that, we establish these principles that I'm going to teach to you, because for you to truly master this is what has it to where not only can you, if you're working a 9-to-5, not only could you leave that job and do this full time, but you never have to worry about going back. How many of you never want to have to worry about? I don't care what the market is saying. These principles here have kept me in business for a decade. Okay, so make sure you pay attention. Let's do it. So the first I on the 3I CPS principles is impress. And this is where I want you to understand. Your client is the real estate agent. That's the person that pays you. Okay, that's your client. You want to impress them, of course, that's a given. What I want you to understand is you have to also impress your client's client. Your client's client is the seller or the buyer. You also want to impress your client's network. Your client's network is the lender, the title company, the inspector, the insurance guy, all of the people that they put on their file that they work with. You want to impress all of them. And so you want to set up systems and automations and things that impress all of them. And the reason why I say that is it's great to impress your client, of course, because they're paying you. But when you make it a point to impress them and anybody connected to them, I'm telling you right now, they will not leave you. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when they go into the title company, because they're there on another file about another transaction, and then Sally, the title company rep, says, get in here. Who is this new transaction coordinator you're using? And why? What happened? First of all, we can get nervous. The default is what they mess up. What happened? No. This file was, it was on the verge. Okay. Before we could even call you, they caught a mistake that the lender made all the phone calls to get it corrected. And because they did, we still were able to make it to where we're going to be still closing on time on this file next week. And they did. Absolutely. I don't know where you find her, but you better not let her go. I know you better continue to work with her. She's making our jobs a lot easier. I'm telling you right now, when you master this, when you master automations and systems that catch mistakes and get ahead of things before they get bad, and you can do that, you impress everybody. I liken it to, okay, where my parents at. I liken it to when you go out to the restaurant and you're sitting there with your kids and you're interacting and you're having a good time, and then a sweet little elderly couple, okay, that is seasoned amongst their years, they're walking out and they just, hey, I just wanted to say, your son is so well behaved. And I mean, you smile from your diaphragm. Do you hear me? That pride bubbles up. Now they don't know, okay, that your son went to the water park that day. He don't got 2 batteries on his mental battery to give nobody a hard time. He's exhausted, but we're not worried about that. We got a compliment from a complete stranger about our baby. That is the same thing that happens when you impress the client, the client's client, and the client network. Do you see how powerful it is? Do you see how much pride they have? Do you see that? So, okay, we do. Even when we know they don't deserve it. You say, man, we've been here 10 minutes. Okay, what could they, what I mean? But it don't matter, right? So that is what I liken it to. That is the best analogy that I can give it. It's as if somebody that you weren't even focused on is impressed with something you have going on. So that's the reason why impress is is our first principle. The second one is improve. Okay, we want to improve their procedure, protection, and persona. Okay, procedure, protection, and persona. Those are the 3 things that we want to improve. Whatever procedure that they have, that they bring to you, we want to make it better. Whatever it is. And the procedures that we use, we're not even worried about if it's going to be better. We know it's going to be better, because they'll come to you and say, this is how I take care of it, because they always come with their own ideas. And this is what I do. And you say, okay, this is everything we do. And they're like, whoa, right? That's what you want. You want to improve their procedure. And by improving their procedure, and you've already impressed everybody, guess what? You're going to improve their protection. You're going to improve their protection by catching mistakes. You're going to have policies and processes in place that you're going to be able to catch mistakes before anybody else. And it protects them. It protects them. It has it where they don't even want to do the contract on their own because they realize you catch mistakes quicker than they do. Right. And then by doing that, you're going to improve their persona, which is their name. You're going to make their name great. You're going to make their name great because of how well you are treating their files, their people, how well you are looking at all the details. You're going to make their name great amongst the market, amongst other real estate agents. All right. So we're going to improve procedure, protection, persona. Does that make sense? I'm going to take I got a quick question in here. Aside from Google Suites, what automated software do you use to help track the process? Jesse ain't playing. Okay, Jesse, okay, I want secrets. Jesse, we use a teamwork project management system, Teamwork PM, but there's also one Transactly and I'm having a blank, Jesse. There's also one called I can't think of it. It'll come to me. Remind me later. I'm gonna think of there's another one that's real popular too. But if you search transaction coordinator software, it'll come up. It's like OTP or something like that. I can't think of the name of it. So that's another good one. All right. So the last thing we want to do is improvise. Improvise by solving with speed and simplicity. Solving with speed and simplicity. How many of you have somebody in your life that if you bring them a problem, they can fix the problem? They can do it swiftly and they make it painless. This is what you want to be for them. You want to solve the problem before they even know it's a problem. You want to do it quickly and efficiently, and you want to keep it simple on them. You want to keep it simple on them. By the time you call them, you want to be using phrases like, this happened, but I already took care of. I already sent that out. I already followed up. I already got it back. I already. That's what they want to hear. Take the burden off of me and fix the problem. Don't call me freaking out. You don't do that. You don't call the client with that same energy that the problem has. You want to take on the problem and that energy and solve it. And then you want to take that and then call them with the update. This is how this is the solution that has happened already. So when you can improvise, when you can improve, and when you can impress, guess how many times they're going to pay you? Jesse, how many? Because we talked about this, they're going to pay you over and over and over again. All right. So here's what it looks like. You want to get paid over and over again. This is the bullseye you need to be looking for. You want to make sure you're impressed, improve, and improvise. And the reason why I did the bullseye is because a lot of people, and this is because I've trained a lot of people on this as well, they focus on improving and improvising and not impressing. Or they focus on impressing and improving, but not improvising. So they can impress you and they can improve processes. But if the pressure hits, they start to break. They start to break. I'm telling you. And you cannot do that. You have to be a strong foundation for that client. And so when you can manage the trifecta, you will have a lifelong client. You will have a lifelong client if you can make sure that every single time you're doing this trifecta. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you the fruit of that. Okay. I showed you the root and what we do as a process. Here's the fruit of it. DeYoungers. Okay. This is a team that signed on with us in 2016. 2016. Look at this. This is just this current year alone when I pulled this report. 414, 411, 410. These are all invoices sent and paid. You see that green? Sent and paid. This is how much work they're still sending us, guys, from 2016. Because we applied this, they paid us over and over and over again. Yes, we started out the company. Yes, we were able to scale and probably won them over by doing one of my live classes where I'm doing a lunch and learn. And kudos to me for getting them converted. But the team, when you get these principles instilled in your company as your company values, this is what secures the over and over and over again. This is what secures that, Jesse, yes, that reoccurring revenue. This secures that. So you have to make sure that you implement some principles in your company that are going to sustain. And it doesn't matter when the market is bad, because the high producers are going to still be high producers and they're not going anywhere. Do you hear me? They're not going anywhere. These are some reviews that we got because of the principles we instill. This is Raul. He's still with us to this day. Do you hear me? He's been with me since the beginning. Tiffany in the VBS group is one of the most creative support groups I've ever had. Tiffany goes beyond her duty to get the job done. Very grateful to have VBS on my side in order to keep my real estate business moving forward. Love Raul. We fight over Raul. Everybody loves working with Raul. Okay, he's awesome. So this is Shao. So Shao, he's a little animated. Okay, he's a little animated. But Shao says, let me tell you a little story. I was in the most stressful situation to turn essential documents in order to make a transaction happen. I could not find time to do it following to the fact I was occupied in a very personal matter. After almost getting a heart attack, I remember Tiffany that was recommended to me by a realtor that I most respect. Come on, that name is in the room, even when you're not in the room. I called her and left a voicemail telling her that I needed her for an emergency matter. Well, guess what? She called me back immediately. And even though she was on vacation, because that's where I be, okay, the beach and the bank, with her husband and children, family, while spending time fishing on a lake somewhere out of state, she came to my rescue. Without her help, I would have lost this very essential transaction. Thank you, Tiffany, from the bottom of my heart. I will never forget the favor in my life. You know why? Because we apply the 3I CPS. We know how to improvise. So even on vacation, I answered this phone call. I tap in my transaction coordinator manager. I say, Coach B, I need your help. She said, what you need? Because you know what? She the master, okay, of the 3I CPS rules. She is the master of it. And she said, I got you. I'll take it from here. I hang up and I enjoy the rest of my vacation. Meanwhile, over and over and over again, we just got a client that's paying us over and over and over because we saved the day, because we knew how to improvise. And guess what we did? We solved the problem swiftly and we made it simple and we impressed him. And then as we got the transaction, we impressed him in the network. And by doing this, we improved his processes. Do you see the dance that we do? They just get lured in. All right. Because when you treat people well, they don't leave. When you treat people well, they don't leave. It's just that simple. If you want something more complex than that, you're going to have to go to another masterclass. That is what we do. We are good stewards over our clients and they don't leave. All right. Tell me in the chat. Talk back to me. Who feels like this is all coming together? They say, Tiff, I see you, girl. I see what happened. I see how you started, how you scaled, and how you sustained. How many of you, it's like, it's all coming together, Tiff. Okay. So this is everything we covered today. Okay. I want to just recap everything we covered today. 5 keys to start: our legal formation, website, our email and our drive, our business bank account, our contract training, 6L marketing. We did listings. We did like and comment. We did the local marketer, the lunch and learn. That's how we got our premium clients. The local magazine. We got us some high producers by doing that. And a link to refer. That's how we kept that referral engine always purring. Okay. Then our 3I CPS principles. This is where we taught you to impress, improve, and improvise. Impress, improve, and improvise. So now you know. That's all my secrets. Now you know. If you want to take this journey, you could hang up right now and go get started. But would it be easier if I helped you? Would it be easier? You said, Tiff, I think it might. Okay, if you could take all of that 10 years of game and walk me along this path, would it be easier? So tell me in the chat, okay? Because I want to get my permission from my people. Is it okay if I take the next 15 to 20 minutes to discuss how I could help? Okay, is that okay? That's it. And then we're going to be out of here. All right, I'm going to let y'all out of here. All right, is it okay? While y'all wait on that answer, I'm going to answer a few questions. It says, how often do you correspond with your clients during the process? Weekly calls are as needed. So we have a system. I think it's Lakeisha L. Tucker. So we have a system. So we typically are sending our weekly check-ins via email. And we're calling as needed. All right, but we do call when we first initially get the client, because we want to make sure that they feel that warm introduction with us and they know who to call back if they have any questions. Jesse, yes, customer service has to be strong in the foundation. Absolutely. So let's remind us all why we're here, right? You want to wake up fulfilled and passionate about your work and have the income to support it. Can it please just match? Oh my goodness. If I'm going to put my all in something, can it look like my all came back to me? All right. And we want to live a life and own a company where you can work anywhere in the world and have full control of your workload and income. You want to have a life of options and make decisions based off of your desires and not your limitations. What do I desire to do? Okay. Not boss, can I take my kid to the doctor? gone is the day, okay, that we got to go through that with anybody, or we got to get permission to do what's best for our family. So you also want to experience a better version of life. And you're wondering, how in the world can you do this without a significant impact to your current income? How many say, I'm willing to step out on faith, but I really don't want to do this. Okay. I don't want to have my income drop and go back up. I need to either stay the same and go up, or I don't know if I can do this. All right. I know that was me. I could not risk going down. So, but you can visualize it and you can see yourself in the future where this is a reality. The life that you want, the reason why you're here is because you can already see yourself living it. You know, you just need to know what it is to do. You can tell me in the chat, are you willing to see yourself in the future? Are you just willing to? You don't have to know how. I didn't know how when I had my empty room moment, but I was willing to see myself in the future. If that's you, put me in the chat. All right. And the most important thing I think that I learned on this journey is it's never the right time. You have to understand, I started this business in an active bankruptcy. It was a terrible time to start a business, not to have no payroll backup with a bank. I couldn't get not one line of credit. I couldn't get no bank loans. I couldn't even use a credit card to try to get, if we hit sticky times, it was a terrible time. But as you know, I told you, I was so decided that I made that time right. I made that decision perfect. I asked God to help me make this decision a miracle, and that's what he did. I asked God to make it I had my mustard seed. Do you hear me? And a forest of fruit has been built from that. So understand this, no matter what you're going through, if it doesn't feel like the right time, that's not what you should be trying to consider. Consider if you're decided. Consider if you're fed up. Consider if you're willing. That's the only thing you should be considering. And I do want to note this, okay? I don't have any special advantages or special skills. I don't have a secret tool or access to expensive resources that you can also have access to. I told you I use Google, okay? They tried to pull some special software on me. I said Jotform, okay? That's all. I'm not using anything special that you don't have access to. I just have a system, a process, and a program that works, period. That's it. I have something and an engine that I know that if you plug it into your car, into your truck, into whatever engine you can match me with, it's going to generate revenue that's going to pay you over and over and over again. That's what I have. It just works. And if I can do it, you can do it too. All right. So I'm about to introduce it. Come on, give me some hand claps in the chat. Give me some hand claps in the chat. I introduce to you my baby, my infant baby, mentorship, REVA Nation, y'all. This is my baby. Give me some in the chat. I'm telling y'all, this is a 12-month mentorship. Did you hear me? 12-month mentorship. Why did you do 12 months, girl? That's a long time. You want to know why? Because I told you it took me less than a year to go from my first client to leaving the job that I was at. So it only made sense that I said, I need 12 months with my people. I need 12 months with my people. I might need the first 3 weeks just to get you thinking out your head. Okay. Just to get you to think like an entrepreneur, like a multimillionaire. So we can start to build this business together. So it's a 12-month mentorship, a full year where I'm locked in with you at every turn so that we can build this thing together. Because even though you can take it and you can build on what you learned today, you can also take this journey with me where I hold your hand throughout the process, where I'm there to answer your questions, where I'm there to talk you off the cliff, okay? Where I'm there to help you through all the challenges that I had to figure out on my own, right? And I can give it to you on the front end where you can avoid them all together. Somebody say avoid them all together. Avoid them all together. So tell me in the chat, may I walk you through what our time together could look like? All right, I just quickly want to do that, walk you through what that time together would look like so you can understand what this opportunity looks like. Okay, so how many of you say, all right, Tiff, I saw what you did to start, but I might have personal questions. I need you to make these in digestible points so that I make sure I'm doing this right. I also can kind of be a little bit of a procrastinator, and I kind of need somebody to keep me in shape. Okay, now listen. This is when we're going to do the 21-day startup. This is where I'm going to walk you through how to start this company in 21 days. I am doing it right now with my current mentees. It is incredible. Okay. This is where we're doing something actively 21 days. So by the end of the 21st day, everything in your business is already set up. LLC is done. Website's done. Domain is done. It's like, what? The 21 days. I'm not playing no games. I do not have time for you to be spending 3 weeks over analyzing your logo. If I can start with that oogly logo, we're not doing that. We still gonna do some incredible graphic design, but we're doing it quickly. We're moving. We're not doing these things where you drag things out. Okay, because you got spouses depending on you. You got kids depending on you. 21 days, the business is up and running. Let's go get this money. All right. And so just so you know, the value of the 21-day startup is $2,500. And I didn't come up with these values straight up out my head. I itemized this and gave values based on what I paid people when they hired me to do just this. Okay. They hired me just to help them start something. And that invoice was $2,500. I helped them set up their business and get it going. I charge them $2,500. When I give you that value, it's because that's what I actually charge people. Okay. I'm a woman of integrity. I'm not going to lie to you. That's what I was actually charging people. So tell me in the chat, how many of you would like their hand held through how to start? How many of you say, Tiff, I'm not trying to mess. I want to know the exact services I should put out there. I don't want you over offering services in the beginning. I'm showing these are the most profitable ones you can start out with and still have profit in the very first month. I'm walking you through all of that in the 21-day startup. Okay. Would you like your hand held through how to start? Okay. So now you say, all right, Tiff, I appreciate that. We got started. And you say, but Tiff, I'm not that techie. I'm not a graphic designer. I've never really done marketing like that. I don't really know that I have the confidence to really move forward with that. Shut your mouth. Okay. This is when we're going to provide your brand kit for you. We provide your templates to have your logo, your website, and your brochure that you provide to clients. We provide it to you in the mentorship. Why? I don't have time. Melissa, I can't do it. I can't spend 2 weeks with you struggling with your website. I'll give it to you. How about that? Send me the logo you choose, the company name you want, and your bio, and we'll put the website together and hand it back to you. That is what we do in the mentorship, because I created this mentorship based off of what I would have needed, what would have saved me time. I based my mentorship off of that. I figured if it can help the old me, it can help the current you. If it could catapult the old me, it'll catapult the current you. So that's the reason why we did that. And value for that, $1,400. Tips receipts, okay, coming through. This is a web design. We did $500 deposit, $500 balance, $1,000 there. We did the logo package here. We did a brochure here with $222. So these are my receipts, y'all, that these values are not made up, okay? Tell me in the chat, who would like to have all your marketing done for you? Hey, Tiff, girl, just send me the stuff. Look, I want to be able to focus on other things, right? Who would love to have the marketing done for you? So now you say, okay, now you got my marketing to get me going, but these agents are going to want just listed postcards. They're going to want these flyers. Like, Tiff, I want to make sure that I'm keeping them happy. I want to impress everybody. That's what you told me to do. You sure right. I told you to do that. And that's the reason why we're going to provide you with a full marketing package. What that means is over 20 templates of all the things that your agent is going to be asking you for to get you started in the business. All you have to do is say, yes, please send me your images, send me the property information, and replace that. And that's it. When I tell you it's seamless, we show you exactly how to replace it on there so that you can do it and keep it moving. You can focus on the things that are going to bring you income to your business, not get lost in all of the marketing. All right. And so this is where we actually charge agents for the same marketing things that we do every single month, $250 a month. And I'm giving it to you for a whole year. Okay. Which means that value is worth way more. Tell me in the chat, who would like to remove the guesswork of marketing and have designs delivered to you? This is 10 years of editing marketing, tweaking marketing, and knowing what works. We're giving you those templates so that you can start and scale immediately. All right, so now you say, okay, to appreciate that, good looking out. But as I'm getting into the day-to-day, I've gotten stuck. I'm ready to scale now. I've kind of mastered the contracts. I'm starting to ready to hire. I'm setting up these systems. I have questions. Shut your mouth. This is when you have your laser focused calls with yours truly. This is the interactive training and instruction Q&A that I hold with you, where we're talking through all of the ebbs and flows of our business. We're talking through whatever you have coming up next. I want to know what you did last week, what we're doing this week. I want to know what you have accomplished and what we're going to accomplish. I don't know what questions you have. I don't understand. Share your screen with me. Let me see. This is when we are intently and intimately involved with your business to make sure that it's working the way it should be. This is what I'm saying. That's not a good idea. I would recommend that you do this, right? I'm trying to avoid the pitfalls for you. Okay. And so you can understand, okay, as I come with the receipts. For me, this was a month of coaching that I did with somebody. I charged them $10,000. All right. So I want you to understand these values are not made up. Tell me in the chat, who would like to spend some focused time with yours truly? Say, Tiff, let me just get some me and you time so we can talk through these things. All right, beautiful. So you say, all right, I'm kind of nervous about taking clients, Tiff. I'm not sure how to convert them. How many, be honest in the chat if you're a little nervous about selling. Okay, I'm saying that word now, but we don't necessarily use that word. We present opportunities for people to work with us, for us to make their lives better, right? So how many of you are nervous about that? This is when I introduce to you the Sales Accelerator. This is our live instruction on how to posture yourself, how to posture your speech, how to do the marketing to contract and convert the clients that you desire to work with. This is where I'm going to teach you that. Jesse says, yes, I'm a little nervous. Keith says a little bit, but let me tell you something. When you change the mindset that you're not selling, you're presenting opportunities to make their business better. I'm telling you, Jesse, it changes the whole tone of the conversation. I'm presenting an opportunity for you to make your business better. This is your loss at the end of this call if you don't move forward. I'm going to show you how to do the 10-minute close. That's right, Lakeith. I'm showing you how to do the 10-minute close. We're not on the phone with these agents all day. I'm presenting an opportunity, and at the end of this 10 minutes, I'm sending you a contract. Let's move forward. This is where I teach you exactly what I say, exactly how I do it. This is where we're going to do live, okay, mock calls. Okay, Jesse, because I'm not going to just leave you out there to try to do it on your own. Let's do live mock calls with me to make sure that you understand how to get them converted and do that 10-minute close. All right. Okay. This is where I help somebody for 3 months. I was helping them with sales acceleration. So I did a monthly support fee of $5,500 for 3 months. Okay. This is me showing my receipts on this is the values that we put on this thing. So tell me in the chat, would you enjoy being a fearless, effective seller? All right. Fearless. We're not gonna pop no sweat bleed when we on the no sweat bead when we on the phone. You about to get this 10-minute close and you about to come on so we can give you the 3 ICPS principles and we can never leave each other. That's what we about to do. All right. So you say, okay, Tiff, you putting this together for me, but I'm not sure at this point what to do. I'm starting to get into the thick of it. And does this step go before this step? I'm really not sure. This is where we provide to you our flawless systems. Every single system that we utilize, that we start, scale, and sustain our business with. This is where you never have to worry about what all the things I should do on a contract. How can I make sure that the 3 ICPS principles are applied in every process that I have? Because I'm going to give you the same exact processes that we use. The same exact. From point, it's 48 things on a to-do list because that's how detailed it is. I'm not telling you step by step. I'm telling you step by step by step by step. You email this person, you do it on day 1. You email this person, you do it on day 5. I'm telling you exactly what to do. That is our flawless systems. One thing I'm not a proponent of and I actually despise is fluff. It's somebody to sell me something with fluff. And that's the reason why this mentorship has no fluff. If it's in this mentorship, it's because you're going to need it, period. I don't even have time to put together fluff courses, modules, and live trainings. I don't even have the capacity for that. I'm only teaching you things that are going to maximize your bottom dollar. All right, here in my receipts, I helped somebody do this. I did 17 videos for them to show them how to use those systems that I gave them, charge them $3,000. Okay, because our time is valuable. You know why, Keith? Because we like to go to the beach in the bank. All right, we don't have time to be sitting at the desk. Tell me in the chat, are you ready to automate your income and stop working for it? can I just have some automations popping off and pleasing these people? This is where I teach you how to do that in Flawless Systems. And so, okay, 2 more things left, guys. So you say, all right, Tiff, business is flowing. Okay, business is flowing. And I'm really ready to go to the next level. And I'm in search of some ways of how to have some passive income. Before I can teach you anything about what I did outside of my business, how about this? I have 7 streams of passive income that you can do in this one business. 7 streams. You say, Tiff, 7? Absolutely 7. You know why I had to figure out 7? I was in an active bankruptcy and couldn't get no loan. I was in an active bankruptcy and couldn't get a credit card. I had to find 7 streams of income to flow into the business we were already doing. And I did it and I mastered it. And those 7 streams of income pay us every single month. I'm going to show you what they are. So tell me in the chat, are you ready for some quiet streams of income? I need income that's going to get in here, sit down and shut up. Okay, I don't want you to be yelling, screaming. I don't want to have to sweat for it. I want you to hit that direct deposit and be blessed. Okay, and bless me as well. So tell me in the chat, quiet streams of income, something we here for. All right, Lakeisha said, yeah, absolutely. Just please be quiet and get in here and just be a blessing. All right, so this is the game changer right here. Y'all don't even know it yet, but this is it. It's Tuesday at 2 p.m. and you're on a live contract. You done got your first contract. Come on, April. You got your first contract and you say, I'm freaking out. I know the information. I went to the contract training, but I'm freaking out a little bit. Okay, this is where that happens. This is when that transaction coordinator manager that I told you that mastered the 3 ICPS principles, I assign you my personal master transaction coordinator as your contract coach. And I'm not talking about a contract coach you got to hit up in the Facebook group and hope they respond. I'm talking about somebody you can text right then and there, call right then and there, and they will walk you through contracts if you get stuck. Your own personal contract coach, guys. This is invaluable. She's been doing contracts for over 8 years for me, been full-time, left her corporate job to do this, and she's mastered it. So tell me in the chat, would you like to be coached by my personal master transaction coordinator? All right, come on, y'all. That is a $7,500 value, and I've never offered it before, ever. Couldn't even find your receipt, okay, because I've never offered it before. Come on, that brings our total value, guys, to $46,000. Did I put any fluff in this mentorship? Did I put any fluff? Girl, you put that in there just to make it look like this. No, if I provided it, it's because it can help you. Let's get the investment out the way. How many of you say, Tiff, girl, what is it going to cost? Because you offering the world, okay? It's $46,000 of value, guys. $46,000 of value. And if you wanted to have me walk you through it, the only thing you would have to worry about today is a $1,000 deposit and paying me $550 a month for 12 months. $7,500. That's all it is for $46,000 of value to get your website. Don't forget, we provided you with your logo, your website, your brochure, your marketing, your contract coach. I'm doing live trainings with you to teach you how to sell, for people to pay you over and over and over and over and over again. And it's only $7,500. If you need to do payments, it's $550 a month and it's $1,000 down, guys. That's it. That's it. I'm making people their money back within 90 days. Do you understand me? $7,500, that's it. Tell me in the chat, though, who would like to see some bonuses? All right, because your girl, we had a couple of things we like, okay, but this will really pop it off for her. We wanted to make sure we included that. So here's some of our bonuses. I'm trying to hurry up because I want to be a good steward of you guys' time. So the script bundle, this is the exact scripts that we use when we reached out on those listings, those real estate listings that we talked about. I want you to know exactly what to say, because there's certain things you say to agents, certain things you say to brokers and team leads. I'll give you all of the scripts that I used. And then here's the game changer. For my introverts or extroverts, I can give you a white label class. This is where I give you a class that you can teach to real estate agents in your market. You can do it live or virtual. Back then, I couldn't do nothing virtual because that was unheard of. Now it's the norm. So you can do it live or virtual. I give you the class. I teach you how to teach the class. I give you the slides and everything. And all you have to do is get people on by partnering with your people, and you can teach the class and start to convert high performing agents. Okay, no fluff. I ain't gave y'all fluff yet. And guess what? The class that I don't even do anymore. Okay, my goal planning masterclass, I am going to do it with you inside the mentorship. We do it within the first 14 days so we can set the tone on how well we are going to be driving at our goals and knocking things out the park. We're going to start creating the life that we want. Creating the life that we want, guys. And so here is every single thing included. All right, here we go. Okay, monthly laser focus calls, $10,000 value. 21-day startup sprint, guys, $2,500 value. Done for you brand kit, $1,400 value. Done for you marketing, $1,900 value. Sales accelerator, $15,000 value. Flawless systems, $3,000. 7 streams and one $5,000, but you know that's priceless. Okay, you getting 7 streams coming month after month after that. Contract coach, listing coach, $7,500 value. The script bundle of $1,500 value, the white label class, $3,500 value, and my goal planning class, guys, that you can also use that and teach is going to be a $2,500 value. But I got one more. I got one more bonus for you. Who would like a fast action bonus? This is for my action takers. This is for the ones that they know this is for them. I'm going to drop the price just for tonight. I'm going to drop the price where it's only $5,000 for the year. Y'all saw how much the potential is. You can make 30 and 40 grand in a month. For only $5,000, we can get you secured. That would be $1,000 down and $390 a month, guys. That's $1,000 down and a contract a month. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all, for a total of $54,000 value. Are you ready? Because what I'm about to do is drop the link. All right. That fast action bonus, guys, is only good for tonight. It's only good as long as this call is going on. As soon as the call ends, the fast action bonus goes away because this is for my action takers. Because I know what taking action did for me. I want to honor you for those that take action during the call. So this is where I want you to go now. I'm about to get ready for the link. Okay, let me get my link pulled up. Go get your debit card, however you like to move forward. If you're curious, if you should do this, just know if you want to do it, do it. Okay, that's as pushy as I'm going to get. If you know this is right for you, do it. I'm dropping the link now. I cannot wait to serve you well. Go now to REVANation.com and secure your spot. Secure your spot. This is where you can make the decision that I made in that empty room, that this is the opportunity for me. You would know if it's the opportunity because when I was explaining it to you, your eyes was, okay, dilating. You're like, I could do this. I can knock this out the park. And if you would like to do it with me and not on your own, here is your opportunity to enter into the mentorship that is already being successful for others and join REVA Nation. I cannot wait to serve you well. Let me know if I drop the link. Okay. Shirley, did I drop it? Okay. Thank you, Shirley. So this is where you say, okay, Tiff. You say, Tiff, I'm interested. I really love it. But I just don't have the money right now. This is where you're kind of in your own head about it. So I want to introduce an opportunity for you. This is where we partner with Ease Consulting. They're a third-party financing company, guys, where they'll finance the entire amount. The entire amount you can get financed, okay? If you click on the link that you already see in the chat, you're going to see a page that looks like this, and you're going to select the second option is, okay, you're going to select the second option if you want to get fully financed, okay? If you say, I want to have the whole thing financed, the only thing is you would need to apply tonight so that you can still take advantage of the fast action bonus, okay? Is that fair? So I understand you may not go through the whole process tonight, but you at least get your application in. By getting your application in tonight, I will mark that down for you as being able to take advantage of the fast action bonus. So I want you to go to REVANation.com and you're going to be able to see this link. Shirley, is this the link they're going to see? I think she's saying you may not see this. So you guys let me know if this is what you see when you click the page, okay? Some of you may say, I don't necessarily need help to be fully financed. I just need help with the deposit, Tiff. I don't have $1,000 on me right now. You know, I know. Okay. So this is where you can leverage PayPal credit. I've actually leveraged this before to pay for an actual mentorship as well. And so this is where you hit that third button. I want help with my deposit. And then when you do that, it's going to send you through PayPal credit. And with PayPal credit, you guys can get help with the deposit. It normally approve about $1,500. All right. So it works beautifully if you just need help with the deposit. Another thing I forgot to mention, if you do Ease Consulting, guys, it is a soft pull. Okay. It is a soft pull. So that means that if you apply with them, it's not going to hurt your credit in any way. All right. Because I would not do anything that will put you at risk for hurting your credit on something that's going to give you the full funding. Okay. So you have Ease Consulting and you also have PayPal credit as opportunities for you to be able to secure your spot, but they just have to be just applied tonight so you can get your deposit tonight. The link is correct, but there's no options to apply for financing. So Lakeisha doesn't see that link. Shirley, can you drop that for her? Do you not see, I want to get qualified for funding? She don't see that. Let me click on it too, Lakeisha. So when I do it, okay, let me share my screen what I see, guys. Let me see if you can see it. Wait, you may not see it, but it's going to be that second one. I want to get qualified for funding. Okay, let me know if you don't see that. Is the deposit included for the full funding or is that just for the monthly? So Key, that's a good question. So if you are able to just pay your deposit, you're just selecting that first one. You're like, I got my deposit. I'm ready to rock and roll. You pay your deposit and it's automatically going to either set you up on the monthly plan, or you can pay in full within 30 days and be considered paid in full. You won't have to pay a financing fee. Okay. That is in-house financing. So it means that definitely isn't going to hit your credit. That's pre-approved with me. Your name is good with me. The very first link, paying your deposit and doing the monthly payments, that is that's pre-approved. That's like in-house financing. Once you pay your deposit, guys, so keep in mind, once you pay your deposit, you're going to be immediately routed to schedule a call. And that's where you can talk through however you want to do it. If you say, okay, I think I can pay it all off in 30 days, you can avoid the financing fee. Or when you get on the call with Shannon, you can explain to her like, no, I think I want to do the monthly payment. So this is really where you can get all of that scheduled. Okay. So there's no worries there. If you get your approval with PayPal credit and get your deposit, you head on over to REVA Nation, you secure your spot with that deposit and you schedule that call because we want to hurry up and get you on a warm call. Now, the very last one, when it says schedule my personal call, this is if you're ready to move forward. You've made your decision, but you really just want to ask some clarifying questions. All right. We do understand that not only is it an investment of a financial investment, it's an investment of your time, right? It's an investment of your time. So you might have some clarifying questions and you need a warm voice on the other side of that thing right before you put that deposit in. We understand that. I can be that way sometimes myself. And so that fourth link is if you just want to schedule a call. So if you guys, you feel like you're ready, but you just have those questions, go ahead and get that call scheduled, because to get the fast action bonus, it has to be scheduled while we're live on the call today, right? So as long as it's scheduled, so I want you guys to hear me clearly, as long as it's scheduled, I will honor the fast action bonus. So let's say you say, Key, let's say you say, okay, I scheduled my call's not till tomorrow afternoon, but you told me the fast action bonus is for tonight. If you schedule it tonight, it's okay. Does that make sense? I'm trying to be as considerate as possible because I do realize, while I want you guys to make a decision, I do realize it's a big decision, right? You're literally starting a company. You're starting a company with a proven success record and proven principles and a full strategy and a full marketing and a coach, but it's still starting a company. So I do get that. So if you want to schedule that call, I welcome you to, at minimum, guys, get that call scheduled. If you're kind of on the fence, but you're leaning towards yes, go ahead and get that call scheduled. And so you say, Tiff, recap the journey for me, right? What exactly am I paying for? I want you to see the journey. Very first thing we're doing, right, is we're going to be handling your mindset. And mindset is going to be trickled in throughout the whole mentorship, right? We never drop the ball on focusing on our mindset. We're doing that keys to start. This is when we're doing the 21-day startup. We're going to do that right away so we can hurry up and start making some money. Systems in your business. Then we're going to be teaching you how to present opportunities, right, to enhance people's business, right? Sales is where we do that. Contract and listing coaching, this is where you're actively learning those contracts and able to leverage your own personal contract and listing coach. Then after you've built that, we're going to then plug in those 7 streams of income so that as you're working, you have streams coming in. And then after you've established you mastering it and what it looks like, now we're going to go into scaling. And we're able to do this all within 12 months. It is beautiful. I've done it myself, and I get to speed up the time for you, right? Because I did it without having any of these resources, right? And so the last thing we do is how do you scale? And then now you're ready to hire your transaction coordinator, your listing coordinators. And really, how do you start to work yourself out of working in your business and on your business? This is where I teach you how to have a business that's operating, and meanwhile, you at the beach. Okay, Lakeisha, that's where we break all of that down. So if all this did for you, right? If all this did for you was finally get you into entrepreneurship the way you always imagined and increase your cash flow to 3 to 5K a month, would this be worth it to you? I'm able to start doing this right away. The money you invest will be for the year. I'm making that back for you right away. And you're getting paid that to yourself in perpetuity, right? That's the good thing and beauty about mentorship. The things you learn in the season of that mentorship, you get to take that with you for the rest of your life. It's like anything that you educate yourself on, you don't lose it. You can take that with you forever. If all it did for you guys was taught you how to run a business, set up systems so you can produce income without being a slave to your desk, would it be worth it to you? That's the decision that you have to make today. Would that be worth it to you? And if all it did was teach you exactly what to say to potential clients and get them instantly to want to invest with you, would it be worth it to you? Well, you say, Tiff, I'm hitting them with the 10-minute close, girl. I cannot believe it's working this smooth. This is where you can see the beauty in that. Would it be worth it to you? And so, as you can see, even with the fast action bonus, right? It is an investment. It is an investment, but I really had 2 choices. I could go cheap, guys. I could have provided you with templates, recorded videos, and not offer the interactive mentorship, but that would not help you navigate the hurdles. That would not help you when you have that live contract and you're not sure what to do next. That would not help you when you need to do mock calls and go through how do you close these people with the 10-minute close. It wouldn't provide those to you. And so I had to make the decision that I needed to provide you with something where I knew you could be successful, where I increased the success rate from 50 to 99, right? That 1% is if you don't show up. That 1% is if you don't execute. Everything else about the systems and what I'm going to teach you is going to put you in a proven success path. I promise you, it puts you in a proven success path. And so for me to be able to do that and be a good steward over it and give you that contract coach and all that, that is when we had to have something that required a little bit more of an investment. But the little bit more of an investment is going to guarantee your success. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense to you guys. The reason why it's structured the way it was. So pick one word for me, okay? Pick one word for me. I still got a lot of you still rocking with me. So pick one word. Let's play a quick game. What was starting a business and having a client within the first 45 days mean to you? I mean a client that's going to pay you over and over and over again. I mean a client that's going to refer you over and over and over again. To have that within the first 45 days. Come on, Lakeisha, call scheduled. I can't wait. Can't wait to get you on the phone. Let's talk through this thing. So pick one word of what that would mean to you. To have reoccurring revenue from one client and having that secured within the first 30 to 60 days of getting signed on to the mentorship. What would that mean to you? So I just want you to have that word in your head, because for me, it meant freedom. It meant freedom. It meant, now this is more than one word, but just because I'm just being transparent, it meant you finally figured it out. You finally figured it out. And your children will reap the benefit of that because you finally got it. And so it was priceless for me, guys. It was priceless for me. And I can't wait to rep myself in you. I really cannot wait. It is the reason why I did this mentorship. It's the reason why I'm a person that prefers to be behind the scenes, but came out front to come get my people, to come get the people that when they heard about this opportunity, they locked eyes with it. Anybody that feels like this is not a good opportunity for them, I'm not interested in moving forward. I want you to go find the thing that is. But for those of you where the words jumped off, like it jumped off the page for me and was in 3D and you could see yourself in 3D, those are the people that I want to move forward with, because I can make that a reality for you. I am positive of that, right? So what I know for sure is saving money won't make you financially free. I tried it, don't work. How many of you tried it? Don't work. You saving it alone is not going to make you financially free. You don't have a debt problem, you have an income problem. How many of you, if you wrote down a list of all your problems you had, how many things on that list will be eradicated if you have more income? How many of the things on that list will be eradicated with more money? So you don't have a debt problem. You need to make more income. My family, I needed to make more income, right? Because my job controlled my salary, but I control my income. And so that was the solution that I really was seeking and didn't know it, right? And so this mentorship is for those that know that this is a breakthrough that they need. They know it. It's something about it. It's something about the way it sounds. It's something about the structure of it, the flow. It's something about the administrative part. It's something about it. They know this is it. Those are my people. Those are the only people I showed up here for, to be able to pull you to the next level. The other ones, I want you to still go be successful. I want you to figure it out. I'm always here. Okay. Tiffany Haynes Co on Instagram. I'm not going anywhere. But for those that know this is a breakthrough they need and they want to get further faster, I'm your girl, right? Those are the ones that I want you to click the link in the chat and do one of those 4 options. Secure that deposit, get ease. I'm trying to get fully financed, honey, and just do this thing, be paid in full, avoid any financing fees. Are you getting PayPal credit to help with your deposit? Are you scheduling your call because you just want to ask some clarifying questions? Those are the people that I want to see on the other side. Okay. Here's also what I know for sure. Being an entrepreneur really has helped me to create my life and not react to it. You can start creating your life. This picture right here is because my mom and I had a conversation a few months before Thanksgiving. She said, oh my God, baby, I really wish we could have like Thanksgiving, like in the woods with the outdoor fireplace. And then like every movie you see where it's Thanksgiving, like I would love that. This is when a few months later, that's exactly where we were. Do you hear me? That's exactly where we were. I hung up with her and I found it. And I said, Ma, I found the place. Did you love it? She said, I love it. And we secured it. And the whole family came out there for Thanksgiving. Creating your life, not reacting to it. Entrepreneurship can also help you where you can decide where you take your children and not letting money decide for you. Anybody that knows me in my real life knows I take my family everywhere. Every business I want them there, they coming. Because I was able to reach a point where I didn't have to decide based off of the budget. I could just, it was a no-brainer for me. If I wanted to bring my kids, I had the resources to do it. Y'all, that was a blessing for me because that was very important to me, that my children could experience life outside of school's 4 walls, right? I wanted to always take them and to see opportunities and see mommy working. I'm telling you, going to the park with your kids is great. Letting them see you work is greater because that's what they can use once they become adult. I'm telling you what I know. I have an 18-year-old. All right. I was able, and this is what you can do as well, is create your own maternity leave and not let policies determine it for you. That's my baby girl that I had. She's 1 year old now. When I was having her, I told the company, this is how long I think I'm going to be out. I don't know. Might change. I don't know. This is how long I think this is how it should be. You're bringing life into the world. And you got to let policies to tell you when you got to leave your newborn with somebody else. We're not doing that anymore. That's unacceptable. I prove to you, you can have the best of both worlds. Whoever told you you couldn't is lying to you. You create your own maternity. You tell them what you're going to do and tell them it's subject to change. Might change my mind. That's what you can do. And I'm talking about moms and dads. This is what you can do when you're having babies. You create that maternity leave for yourself. This is one of my favorite ones, guys. You be able to be the answer to your mom's prayers and not just the one praying with her. Y'all, when I tell you we prayed and fasted because my mama wanted to be a homeowner her whole life. Honey, but once I became an entrepreneur, I said, Mom, get up off your knees from praying. We're going to go get this house. I have the resources. The answer to your prayers, I have that. Let's go look. Let's go find it. And a few months later, we were closing. She's been in her house for almost 3 years now. This is what it can do for you. I know that you guys have somebody in your family you can't wait to bless. You can't wait to bless them. I still got things I still want to do for mine. So I know that you have people on the list. You on my own site list in a good way. Okay. The minute I have the resources, I'm going to do this for you. And so this is what the gift of entrepreneurship, guys. So I'm excited for the ones that have already secured their spot. I see the notifications coming in that are going to be able to do this for their family. At the end of the day, you have two paths, right? There's one with what you're already doing. If what you're already doing is working, by all means, keep striving, keep growing, keep glowing, right? But if it's not working, the other path you can take is to proven success. Because if you avoid the proven success path and you keep doing what you're not doing and it's not working, that path is going to lead to working and not having a real plan for life after retirement. That plan is not having control over your time and when you can spend time with your family. You're feeling overwhelmed with your financial challenges and not knowing what to do about it. That was me, okay? Days turning into weeks, weeks turning into months, months turning into years with no real progress being made. I have been a professional working actively for 9 years and found myself at the 9th year filing bankruptcy. Well, you know why? Because days were turning into weeks and weeks turning into months and months turning into years, and I was making no real progress. I was just staying above water. I was just doggy paddling, but I wasn't striving, right? And so that's the reason why path 2, proven success, can lead you to being in complete control of your capacity and workload, creating income from the comfort of your own home or anywhere in the world. April, Beach in the Bank. That's where you can find me in April. Okay? Creating a business that you can build and leave as an inheritance, and able to spend the amount of time with your family that you desire and not the time that's left. I just spend the time that's left with my family at the end of the day. That doesn't have to be your reality. You can spend the time you desire. You can leave an inheritance. 5 years ago, Tristan and I sat down and had to get an attorney to figure out how do we leave this company as an inheritance to our babies, because it was generating so much income. It became this hobby and this side hustle, and then it became like this empire that we have to really steward on when we're not here anymore. And now we have things in place where 50% of the company, if something happens to her, is going to go to her family, and 50% goes to, we left an inheritance now. I went from bankrupts to meeting with attorneys to leave inheritances, y'all. It is wild. Okay. Do you hear me? It is wild. And I cannot wait for you to have the same testimony. And the reason why I want you to really perceive the benefits of path 2, because what you'll realize is that you are the true benefactor of what me and you do together. You are the true benefactor. You are the true benefactor. What it does, it can change your life. Yes, it helps me. I get something out of financially, and I get something out of it spiritually, because I love to see myself and what I went through, and then other people figuring it out and having success and being able to scale. It brings me great joy, but it can change your life. The benefits it brings you outweighs tremendously the benefits it'll bring me, right? And so I want you to be able to visualize that. All right. So you have the link there. REVANation.com, guys. The link is in the chat. Shirley, thank you so much for keeping that pin for all my people today. I still have some of you left. And so I want you to drop your questions. I already have a lot of people that are messaging me privately with their questions, okay? But I want you to drop your questions. You can either do it in the chat, or you can do it in the Q&A box that you see at the top, or at the top of the chat, okay? So again, let's recap. Only $5,000. Remember, you have to take action while we're live on this call. All right. So I'm going to answer questions. I'm going to show you a video, and I'm going to let you be on your way. And while we're live, while this call is still going, if you do one of our 4 options, secure your spot with your deposit. Thank you so much, Lakeisha. Thank you for staying with me, honey, to the end. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me that you spend your Monday nights with me. Your second thing is if you want to do full financing, you use Ease. Okay, and Ease doesn't even work with companies if they don't have proven success, because they want to make sure they get their money. Okay, and then we also have PayPal credit if you need help with the deposit. And then if you just need to schedule a call, I want you to make sure you knock that out and click on the fourth link. Okay, so any questions you have, I'm going to run through the ones I got in my private inbox. And if you guys drop any more, I'll be sure to add that on here. So first question is, can we serve all 50 states? Absolutely. Okay. If it's in the United States, you can serve all 50 states. You can serve every single state that is in the United States. I suppose you could go out of the US, but you definitely will be out of my wheelhouse of mastery. Okay. So I will be teaching you how to build this business in the US. Absolutely. For those of us that are realtors, how can we benefit from this besides it being a side hustle? So I don't know if you was at the beginning during my story, but mine was only a side hustle for about 9 months. After that, I was full-time in the business. And so you can have the same for you, right? You can have the same for you. Some real estate agents, I get a lot of real estate agents in my mentorship because they don't like the sales side of real estate. Like they don't like to have to go out and rip it, and they love the idea because they like the paperwork part of just building that part of the business. So they love the idea of this, and they come and they do very well. They do excellent. Next question I have is, what happens when the market is slow? So I mentioned that and touched on it a little bit, but to expound a little bit deeper, we're going after high producers. We're going after brokers. We're going after team leads. And so what happens is the ebb and flow of the team, it balances you out. It really becomes an undercurrent, a foundation for your finances. And with that, in December, you will see kind of a tick down in how many contracts you get, just because some people do not want to sell their house around the holidays. They want to stabilize their family for Christmas and New Year's and all that kind of stuff. And they pick back up around February. And so it's during that time, especially on those laser focus calls when you're with me, we're strategizing around September on what we're going to offer during the holidays so that we can keep our income high, right? We're going to be offering maybe the goal planning class. We're going to be offering some strategy sessions for marketing for the next year. We're going to be offering things that's going to sustain us during that time. So just know that's what the beauty of a mentorship. We were on a call this past week and somebody gave an idea that everybody on the call said they were going to use, right? So all the mentees are like, I'm using that one. So that's the beauty of really being in a community, because you get the leverage off of everybody's genius, right? Everybody's great ideas. Everybody has that great idea they have in the middle of the night. They bring it to the call and we can all learn from it. So that's also a nice protection during those times, right? We're going to leverage each other's mastery. How quickly can we hire a TC? It really depends on your long-term goals. So some of you said you were already full-time entrepreneurs. You're probably going to hire a TC right away, right? Because you don't necessarily need to get all of the income out the gate, right? So I needed to make sure Tristan and I was getting all the income right out the gate. So we took a while before we did our first hire. But if you're not in that place, you don't need to rely solely on it. You can hire TC right out the gate. Right out the gate, they can be learning it with you, right? What is the name of the type of contract training? So I mentioned this, but you want to use residential, right? Residential contract training. You want to put in your state. You want to put in the association. Okay, that's where you want to learn. You want to learn from someone that's going to have the most updated clauses and the most updated information about that contract. Do you offer in-house or third-party financing? Yes. So that's what we just went over. So in-house is the $1,000 down, the $390 a month, but that's the fast action. So if you end up signing up tomorrow or you don't take any action tonight, then it's going to be $1,000 down and $550 a month. If you want to do in-house, right? So you don't, even if you're like, Tiff, I just don't want to feel the pressure to do it tonight, you can decide later. It just takes away the fast action bonus, which, as you guys know, is still an incredible deal, right? If you have to be fair, okay, it's still an incredible deal. So if you don't take advantage of that, but that's the in-house offer. And then third-party financing is where you work with an outside company. You just send us the full amount within 30 days. And so there's no extra fees or anything you have to pay on our side. And so that's Ease Consulting is the third-party financing. PayPal credit would be considered third-party as well. Will I have access to the MLS Association? Great question. So MLS Association is going to, you're going to gain access through your client, right? So in the area that I'm in, you can actually add on MLS access on an assisted level. And so you can get to MLS through your client, because even though we are in Texas, every city has different MLS. So we have our Dallas MLS, and then you also have hard MLS, which is Houston, right? So every city is going to be different. So you'll be able to log in through your client. Are there states that are better than others? I'm sure, right? If we looked at the analytics or something like that, you'd see ones that are better than others. But it's almost like saying, you know, is it better to buy my instant rice at Kroger or Walmart? I mean, when I think is good wherever you are, it's going to be more than enough work where you are, that you don't have to worry about trying to learn other states before you learn your own state, right? You can really learn. You can really learn your state first, and you can master before you even consider going out. And your state can generate for you 30, 40, 50 grand a month without you having to even entertain another state. I mean, it's real estate, guys. It's constantly moving and transactions are constantly going, right? And the number of transaction coordinators far outweigh the number of real estate agents that need it. All right. Keith said, what is MLS? MLS is the multiple listings service. So that's basically where you log in so you can see all the real estate listings. You don't use it that heavy on the transaction coordinating side. You really use that on the listing side. So when they're putting their listing on the market, you need to log into that software and add that listing to the market for them, right? And we train on that and all of that in the mentorship, but that's what MLS is. Multiple listing service is where agents can go and list their listing. That's what that is. Do I need to be certified as a TC? No, you don't. You're acting in the role as of an assistant. So you don't have to be certified. I do have some TCs that go ahead and get their license and then they just have it inactive, just so they don't have to pay any fees on it. But they go through the process of getting their license so that they feel like they better serve the client and puts, you know, potential clients at ease that they haven't gone through the whole process, but they're inactive. So, and you don't have to be inactive, but they're inactive so that they can just focus on their business. Don't have to worry about paying fees for a license they're not using. But no, you don't have to be certified as a TC. Is your rate honored if my next step call is scheduled this evening? Yes, absolutely. I mentioned that. Yeah. As long as it's scheduled, I will honor the fast action bonus. Absolutely. Does my staff need to be employees or contractors? Great question. So your staff needs to be whatever you want it to be. I recommend you do contractors. Really between employee and contractors, if you're saying you have to work 8 to 5 or you have to do, right? That's when they say, you know, the legality of you determining them as a contractor kind of gets gray. But you don't necessarily need to do that. You want them to work when the work is there. You want them to be good stewards over the file. You want them to have response times of when they need to respond to emails and different things like that. But with that being said, you can make them all contractors. I have 99% of my people are contractors. I only have 2 employees. That's Tristan and that's Sarah, who does all my marketing. She's the one that actually will do your website and logos and stuff. She is an employee. Other than that, everybody else is contractors. If we hire employees, should we hire them as commission only or hourly pay? Really good question. So if you hire employees or contractors, I hire mine per contract, right? So if you charge $350 a contract, you can pay them, you know, $125 per contract, and you can keep the profit on that. And so you can pay per contract. That helps you where you don't have fixed expenses where you're paying more than you might be bringing in, right? And then if I do hourly, it's because the client is paying me hourly. So let's say it's an administrative project, and that client needs 10 hours of work, then I will pay that virtual assistant 10 hours, right? So I'm always in the profit. It's a great way to always be in the green, always be in the black. You never have to worry about fixed expenses where you're in the red. The great part about this business is you don't really have a lot of expensive software fees. Like I probably spend more on software fees now that I've opened up the mentorship than I ever did having a real estate VA company with 25 people. It's like crazy. So it really is a low cost business to maintain. Low cost business. And then I have another question. Do you discuss in the mentorship about paying staff? Absolutely. I actually teach you the Profit First method. It's a book by Mike Michalowicz, and I run the finances of my business. And so I teach you how to do it in the TC world, how it's applicable to that industry. It makes sure that you always have enough to pay your staff. You always pay yourself. You always have enough for taxes. You always have enough for your expenses. So I teach you that. It's a part of the flawless systems is where I teach that method. April says, at what point in the process do you hire TC? Okay, so I think I answered that one, April. And then will this model work if you want to hire a TC right away? Yes, absolutely. If you want to hire a TC right away, it absolutely can work. I've done it both ways. Like I have one, she's a real estate agent. She wanted to hire a TC right out the gate. And so we're going through the process of making sure she's set up that way where she has a TC right out the gate, right? So you don't have to do it yourself right away. The benefit though is I do think it's a advantage for you to understand the process intimately before you train somebody else to do it, right? So you basically want to have I give you values and I give you systems and I give you what I do. You're going to start incorporating your own based off of what you experience. Maybe that's even a little bit customized to your state, and so that comes with you at least doing a few of those files, even if you kind of do those together, so that you can ensure that you are a good steward over training somebody, right? So it's if I teach you if I'm telling you how to wash dishes, but I never actually washed them before, like there's just a level of disconnect, right? That's going to be happening. So I actually mastered transaction coordinating before I hired, but I've also taught people how to hire right away, but I also teach them to be intimately involved right away because you need to understand all aspects of that. So hopefully that makes sense. Because you want to make sure that you incorporate that. So I don't see any more questions. Okay, you guys are amazing. You first of all, you asked very, very, very good questions. Very, very good questions. So I'm going to show 2 videos on your way out. So if you're doing something, just watching me, washing the dishes, whatever you're doing, I would love for you to see these last 2 videos. I think you're going to love the very last one, y'all, is like my favorite. Like I literally watch it on the edge of my seat every single time I play it as if I don't know the ending. Okay, that's how much you're gonna love it. You gotta see it. April wants to clarify. She says, so I meant as soon as we sign up for the program or once we complete the course. Oh, okay. So we do. So the minute that you guys pay your deposit, this is a really good question, April. I'm glad you asked. So the minute you guys pay your deposit, when you log into your portal, the 21-day startup, guys, is there. Like the 21-day startup, I think you get the first 2 weeks immediately, and then you drop the 3rd week the next week, just so it doesn't overwhelm you. But the 21-day startup is right there right away. So you can start to go through that information. And then we do live calls and all that, of course, with it. But everything you need for the 21-day startup is there right away. And so you can hurry up and kind of get your TC going if you want to. Hopefully, April answered that correctly for you. And she said, I can do transactions, not sure how many, don't want to get overwhelmed or overcommit. Yes, but by the time you get your first few clients, you're not going to be overwhelmed by those first few. It's when they start referring. They're not going to refer to after that first 30. That's the cycle of a contract, right? So they actually need to go through a couple of contracts with you before they build their own trust where they start to refer you. So it really is it's a good start where you're getting income right away, but the referrals will come in about 60 to 90 days after they kind of get, just like you're like, let me get a little history with you before I can refer you confidently, if that makes sense. So, but yes, I get what you're saying, absolutely. And those are things we could always talk through too, is we don't want you to be overwhelmed. And the main thing that might make you feel overwhelmed is because you're doing contracts for the first time, but that's and making sure that you have that confidence there. April says, call schedule. Hey, I cannot wait to serve you well, April. I cannot wait to serve you well. If you don't have any more questions, guys, I'm going to play these 2 videos. Please, y'all got to watch the last one. And then I'm going to be in the chat talking about the last one because it's just my favorite. So if you guys are still rocking with me, talk to me a little bit in the chat, even though you'll be watching it. And then I'm going to do this first one now. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to still send them to me and I'll just respond in the chat, right? I won't leave you hanging. As long as I catch it before we end, I'll respond in the chat. Remember, action has to be taken tonight, guys. So make sure you take action before tonight. Come on, Key. Come on. So Key says the call is booked. So I love it. I'm so glad you guys are excited because I'm excited as well. I'm excited to have you guys and to really show you this thing. Keisha said her job is pretty demanding. How long you want to say that? How about that? You're not gonna be demand. Is it paying you demanding? I hope it's paying demanding. If not, we need to hurry up and get you up out of there. All right, but we'll talk about that because you got your call scheduled. I saw you come through. So we'll talk that through. But yes, you can hire right away. All right. Let me not just badmouth the people's jobs. Okay. I was traumatized by mine, right? Y'all better. All right, deep breaths. All right, so okay, it does. Okay, good. She said it does. Very good. Very good. So all right, so I'm gonna show the videos. Any other questions, please drop it in the chat or the Q&A box. It'll be my pleasure to answer them there. Thank you guys so much for spending your Monday night with me. I do take it as an honor. I'm a busy girl, and I know that when you take time out to do something like this and really stay engaged the whole time, like you guys have, it's an investment of your time away from your families, and I don't take that lightly. I have 3 beautiful children and a husband. I don't take that lightly. So thank you. It's been my pleasure to teach you on tonight, train you on tonight. I hope to see you on the other side. Watch these 2 videos on your way out. And thank you guys again for attending.
Yo, what's up, fam? It's your boy E.T. Man, Tiffany Hayes. When I think about Tiff, I think of not just execution, but extreme execution, you know? And I say that because when I met Tiffany, you know, I was already E.T. the hip hop preacher. I already had a PhD, you know, I already had, you know, a major following, you know, but Tiff did 3 things. Number 1, she took a brand that was already a good brand and made it better. You know, number 2, we didn't have systems, you know, and she created systems so that I could scale, you know, and I could take my, you know, company to another level. I'll be honest, I was probably doing about 20,000, 25,000, you know, maybe 50 when I met Tiffany. I'm up to 200,000. I think about execution. I think about systems. I think about growth. You know, economically, as I just mentioned, she helped me to go from, you know, high 6 figures to, you know, multi 7 figures. And so, man, super grateful for it. And then most importantly, you know, Tiff has the ability to do that and solve problems without it being stressful. I think that's the major difference between Tiff and a lot of problem solvers, is that Tiff, you know, makes it smooth, you know. So if you're out there and you need systems, or you need to take something good and make it great, or great and make it phenomenal, and then you want to see some economic, you know, execution as well, yeah, look no further than Tiffany Hayes, man. I'm super grateful God has put her, I was gonna say our lives, meaning myself and my family, and her presence has definitely made a difference.
Hey guys, it's your girl Terica Lynn Smith here, and I just want to let you guys know that I don't do testimonials. Like, I don't recommend people. Like, in order for me to stand by you, you got to have some receipts, and not just receipts. You have to have proven receipts with me. And so it is my honor to be able to say and put a stamp of approval on Tiffany Hayes. Like, this is my friend. And we didn't start off as friends. We just worked together. We really didn't know what each other did. But I'm telling you, the moment I hired her company, you know, she has one of the best virtual assistant companies. Not only does she have that, I mean, she has organized a lot of my events. When I tell you, when it comes to staffing and streamlining the process and coming up with business plans and all the logistics, the details, the small things that we normally miss out on, she is right on it. And so it is like amazing to find someone who is transparent and authentic and real and really, really, really love people with her whole heart. And I love it because it's hard to find good, honest people that's going to take your business and treat it as if it was their own. And so whenever I was talking with Tiffany, I'm like, I want to share from my heart how amazing you've been to me and my family and my companies and just everything. And the relationships that we've done together is unprecedented. And so do me a favor, right? If you like, yo, you know, I'm deciding if I want to work with Tiffany or not, do me a favor. Go ahead and get rid of the bootleg people you're considering, straight up. Like, get rid of the bootleg people, because at the end of the day, you're going to regret it and you're going to be frustrated. And I know that because I remember when Tiffany, we was first talking or whatever, and I was like, oh, she good. And then I went another route. I completely was like in regret mode. I ran back over there. And now from that point forward, my business have been doing phenomenal. So do me a favor. I don't stamp people, but whenever I say this is somebody you want to work with, if you want your business to flow right, you want to set up, you want to make sure that it's clear, right? Write the plan and make it clear. Tiffany Haynes is your girl. That's my girl. She have my stamp. I stand by her. And whoever got something to say, come see your girl. What's good? Let's go.
Hey, what's going on, good people? I am Rochelle T. Parks. I am your health motivator. I just want to share with you a few words about this wonderful woman named Tiffany Haynes. Tiffany has been a godsend. I don't know any other way to say it. She's been a godsend to my business, to my family, because ultimately what I do in my business impacts my family. And so, you know, if you're looking for someone who operates with, you know, unwavering integrity, won't compromise her values, who's committed, who's loyal, who's poised under pressure, who's knowledgeable, who's skillful, who's tactful, all these things, who's insightful, who's a visionary, who, you know, thinks out of the box. Like Tiffany is that person. And I can't think of anybody else who I'd rather work with. I mean, she has done more, you know, in these less than 3 years. I mean, we started off making, you know, around $25,000 a year in our business. In less than 3 years, Tiffany has taken us to over $1 million. And so I don't know, you do the math on that, but I can just tell you that Tiffany is an amazing woman, an amazing entrepreneur, an amazing business manager, an amazing mother, an amazing wife. She's just amazing. And that's exactly what she's been to me in my business. And it's just been amazing. And I have no words. I really have no words, no adjectives to adequately describe the impact she's had on me. So if you're looking for that person, if you're looking for someone that can take your business to the next level, if you're looking for someone who has out of the box thinking, who's operates, you know, with integrity, who's loyal, who's committed, who will roll up her sleeves and get dirty, you understand? If you're looking for that person, then Tiffany Haynes is the one for you.
Hello, my name is Tanisha James. I would like to take a moment and just share about my experience being mentored by Tiffany Haynes. If I had to choose 2 words to describe my experience, I would definitely say focus, execution. Tiff has a knack for taking things that can be confusing or complex and really breaking them down into action steps that lead you towards your result. As a former teacher, recently moving into the entrepreneurial space for the first time, nervous is an understatement. I can definitely say that I was nervous about what my next steps would be, but working with Tiffany has helped me get really clear on what my vision and my mission is for my business. And so just having that clarity about what it is that I want to do has really given me confidence as I make decisions as a new business owner. And so not only am I clear, but I'm very confident in the things that I'm doing. She's also saved me loads of time by helping me tweak some of my systems and processes that make me more efficient. And she also gave me some skills that I needed to develop within myself so that I would be more marketable and just take my business to the next level. And so if that's what you're looking to do, you're definitely in the right place. It has been a blessing to be mentored by Tiffany Haynes.
Hi, my name is Tristan Skiles. I'm the COO of Virtual Business Solutions and VBS Real Estate. I've been working with Tiffany Haynes for a little bit over 8 years. She took a chance on me and she helped me to grow. She trained me, she mentored me. She's always worried about how I'm doing, and I've been able to grab onto some of that she saw in me for myself, and be able to come in as a virtual assistant and now be able to run her company with her. It's been amazing. And so I know that those of you who are going through this mentorship, maybe to expand your business, maybe to launch a business, to grow in your career, whatever it may be, I know that you're going to succeed. I watched myself just be able to take a virtual assistant company and run it on the day-to-day. And that's not something that I really saw for myself, but because of Tiffany's trust in me, her encouragement, her training and mentorship, I've been able to do that alongside her. And so I am blessed, and it has been nothing short of amazing and a blessing to work with her. and I know that you all will feel the same.
Y'all salute. What's going on? So listen, this is your man Words Taylor. So I'm a launch strategist. I've been able to work with some pretty big brands and be able to help launch out their products and create consistent revenue. But here's the thing. All right, the secret weapon, Tiffany Haynes, right? So we've had several clients that we work together and been able to take those clients to 7 figures and been able to create 7-figure businesses on our own, right? Here's the thing. Her level of structure, automation, the way she thinks when she's on a project is key. She automatically thinks, how can we speed this process up, gain clarity, create automation, create steps. She understands how to get the whole team involved. Like, it's a breath of fresh air, right? I'll tell y'all this real quick. I'm on a project right now. This is real time that I'm telling y'all this. I'm on a project right now that I'm on without Tiff because she's in such high demand. I wasn't able to, have her on this project. But I text her a couple nights ago and said, yo, I will never do another project without you. Because everything that could possibly go wrong went wrong because my brain doesn't think like hers. She automatically would have thought of the solution for this. All right. So listen, I'm going to tell you all right now, if you have the opportunity to work with Tiffany Haynes, I call her Tiff. If you have the opportunity, please do not pass it up. All right. The level of care in which she's going to put into you, the level of structure in which she's going to bring to your life, the level of independence that she's going to help bring to your life, you will need it. And you're going to go far and you're going to stay there. It's different when people go far, they win, and then they can't sustain it. You're going to go far with her and you're going to stay there. Let's get this work. Ugh.
Out of nowhere, she gets a knock on the door. When my mom opens up the door, the gentleman on the other end, he hands my mom these legal documents. She starts flipping through the pages, and then she realizes that the property is going to foreclosure. She picks up the phone and she calls them up. And she goes, Hello? Oui, this is Marie. Yes, I received the papers in the mail. It says that the property is going to foreclosure. But I don't understand. Every month I pay the landlord on time. Every month I pay him. I don't understand why the property is going through foreclosure. The lady on the line could tell that my mom sincerely did not understand what was going on. She said, oh, Marie, even though you've been paying the landlord money every single month on time, the landlord has a mortgage. The mortgage is attached to the property. Because of that, the bank has the right to foreclose. And so, ma'am, the property is going to go to foreclosure. And so my mom asked her, do you think that maybe I can go to the foreclosure sale? Whoever buys the property, I will be a good tenant for them. I will stay in the property. I will pay them the rent. Please, do you think that they will let me stay? And you know what the lady told my mom? She said, ma'am, it's not even worth you showing up. Whoever buys that property is not going to want to keep your little restaurant in there. So my mom was devastated. She's like, this is how I take care of my 2 boys. I got all my life savings into this property. And so about 2 weeks later, my mom says, you know what? I know that sometimes you don't just have to listen to what people tell you. My mom shows up to the foreclosure sale. She's expecting a room full of investors. But to her surprise, there's only 2 people there. The auctioneer and the representative from the bank. Now, before my mom could realize what's going on, the auctioneer steps up to the podium and says, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to start the bidding process on 540 West Atlantic Avenue. If you're here to bid on the property, please raise your hand. And so naturally, the representative from the bank is standing over here. She raises her hand. My mom, who had no intentions on bidding on the property, doesn't even know how this thing works. My mom decided to take an act of faith and raise her hand. The auctioneer said, very well, we're going to start the bidding process at $30,000. Can I get a $30,000? The representative from the bank is standing here, says $30,000. My mom's still in the game. No money. $35,000. It gets over here to the bankers. That banker says $36,000. This goes on and on. Now they're in the 40s. Now they're in the 50s. Now they're in the 60s. Now they're in the 70s. It gets over here to the bankers. That banker says $76,000. Now my mom's like, I might as well have some fun. I don't have any money anyway. we must be playing with some Monopoly money. And so my mom, attitude and all, my mom goes, $76,500. The representative from the bank is standing here with a clip pad. She picks up the clip pad and she says nothing. The auctioneer's got to keep the process going. He goes, $76,500 going once, no answer. He goes, $76,500 going twice, no answer. He goes, $76,500 sold to who? My mom. The woman who had no intentions on bidding on the property. And so my mom is excited she won the bid. And then she's like, wait a second, I actually have to have the money. And so they told her, you got 30 days to come up with the money. And so my mom would go home. She'd pull out a notepad and she'd start writing down the names of all of her friends and all of her family members, one by one. And she would call them up and tell them the story. Some would lend her $1,000, some would lend her $2,000, some would lend her $3,000, some lend her $4,000, some lend her $5,000. And she's 3 days away, and she's still $30,000 short. My mom's thinking, maybe this isn't meant to be. And then her telephone rings, and it's her friend Yvonne's. And when her friend calls her up, my mom says, Yvonne's, no. It's too late. I have 3 days. I still need $30,000. People said, no, Marie, listen. I know you've been calling us. But me and my husband, we've been saving up money to buy a house. We heard you call us. We heard the voicemails. Right now, we've saved up $30,000. We prayed about it. We talked about it. And we want to lend you the $30,000. So my mom would go and get the money from Evo's and all of her friends and all of her family members. And she would drive over to the bank and get a cashier's check. She would get back in the car, drive up to Palm Beach, look at that big, thick cashier's window with the little hole at the bottom. My mom would proudly take that cashier's check and slide it through the little hole. And that day, my mom went from being the tenant to being the landlord, all because she was willing to show up. And so here's what I say to you. There are going to be times that you're going to be wondering, why should I keep showing up and working my business? Why should I keep picking up the phones and making the phone calls? Why should I keep fighting for my goals and fighting for my dreams? And what I want to remind you is that you got to show up for your life regardless of the circumstances. You got to show up in spite of the naysayers. You got to show up in spite of the conversation going on in your mind. You got to show up for your life. Because if you don't, nobody else will.